Grown Folks Production. In the mix. With the commish, Nate.
It's not a good start to the night when you hit the wrong button and then can't find the right button to hit. It's not a good omen for where we're going tonight. But welcome to OMFL Draft 106. Welcome in. Thanks for hanging out. What's up, Kev? What's up, Dakota? Dwayne? I heard the guys making fun of my music, but I really don't care. I think it's a hype playlist. Gets me going, gets me ready to go. I got the fancy watch on tonight. I'm rocking the Drew Brees jersey. The throwback, and we're ready to do this tonight. Let me welcome in my guest, the Mr. Trey of the OMFL champion Detroit Lions, Mr. Maniac of the commish of the Deuce and of the Atlanta Falcons, and then finally, I keep forgetting to set up this one thing. I'm gonna have to remember to set this up, and then finally. He's not on screen. You do not see him, but Mr. Nipples of the Baltimore Ravens. Fellas, how we doing tonight?
Doing pretty dang good.
Hey. That music is fire. I love it.
I'm just trying to keep you awake over here. I'm trying to get you to wake up, man.
Call somebody else. Call somebody else.
Let me see if I can fix something here. I got Mr. I don't know why, but Trey is massive on my screen right now, but that's okay. I'm going to fix him. I'm going to get it fixed. We're going to get him fixed. At least I hope we can get him fixed. Fellas,
guys, the reason why I'm not in camera is because I mean, they are not allowing me to show the nipples, so that's why I decided not to be in camera. Just FYI.
We do not need to see any nipples as we get going here. Why did my chat message not work? Nothing's wanting to work properly tonight. I felt like I got this all set up, but it's okay. Okay, fellas. We have had a pause draft for like 6 weeks, and we only got through a little over 1.5 rounds. So let's just start it out with who we think some winners are. I'm going to get us started. There's some teams that drafted really well. We were talking about this in chat last night with like Kevin and Bird. Maniac popped in for just a little bit. You can't hide nobody around here. You ain't hiding nobody. If you think you found a gem, you better draft him early. I don't care what his ranking is because he is not going to last around. I'm gonna start this one off with this one here. I've got 3 teams I want to talk about, and I would love to hear what teams you guys think are winning so far. A lot of draft left to go, but I've been hammering him. Excuse me. Now I got hiccups. It's the last thing I need. I've been hammering him all postseason. The Green Bay Packers have drafted really dang well. I still have no clue how he's going to field a full competent team, but so far he has drafted exceptionally well so far early this draft, and I got to give him his props, man. He's hit it home on a couple of really key draft picks. Now, I still don't love his first pick. I think he was a 3rd pick of the draft. I don't love it for him. Hidden dev, stud, good player, just in a position that like he's got other positions of need. I still like the guy, just don't like the pick for that team. He could have hit it out of the park with a cornerback, maybe a defensive end, a variety of other positions. But who you guys think is winning so far?
I can't really say. I haven't been paying too much attention to draft picks.
Trey doesn't have time for us. He's partying. He's doing parades. He's drinking champagne. He's still on the parade, and man. Sleeping with the trophy, and he don't have time for us. Mr. Nips, now you talk about somebody who doesn't pay attention to nothing. Who do you think? Have you been able to see any of these draft picks? Who do you think's winning so far?
I'm just really happy that you said Packers because I thought that I was going to be the only one, to be honest. And I thought it's because I had been drinking today. But honestly, I want to say Packers as well. I mean,
yeah.
He didn't draft the wide receiver that everyone thought that he was going to draft. At the end of the day, I was the one who drafted. But I don't know. Like, even though he didn't draft the wide receiver he's supposed to draft according to everyone, he still got a really nice wide receiver. I mean, we all know he's gonna get 20 interception probably in the next 2 games, but because he's probably gonna pass to only that dude.
Pause real quick. Pause real quick. I want you to finish your thought.
I have to say.
Wait. Do y'all know our dude threw 64 interceptions last year? I didn't know that till last night. Maniac and I were doing the Pro Bowl rosters. My dude threw 64. You should not be allowed to buy Madden if you throw 64 interceptions in a CFM. Finish that thought, Nipples.
Yeah. He's just having fun, I think. I don't know. I mean, he's probably like me in some games. He probably don't care. He just wants to have fun with it. But, I mean, I will say Packers and then Chief, maybe. Shucks has a couple picks as well that I probably will do as well. But, yeah, I will say I'm just amazed. I don't know if I'm drunk or whatever, but since you said Packers, I'm happy because Packers are killing it.
I agree with you. I think he's had a solid draft. Texans, another one. I know that Maniac's got some, but I love what Roger's doing as well. Kevin just said it in the chat. He always drafts really well. It's just trying to be able to stay out of the hospital so he can actually play his games. That is what ends up coming against him. But the Texans have drafted really well. Who do you think, Maniac?
I've kind of got 3 teams that I've looked at winning the draft so far. You look at the Condors. I think pretty much every player they've drafted so far have all been hidden dev. Each one of those guys are kind of impact players. If you look at that, Texans are another, and I think with what the Texans have done, building that roster. I know he's done a lot of trading, getting those draft picks, trading guys out, getting just as good players that he traded, getting them back into the fold there. He's just a really great team builder. And Nipple, by the way, he did draft the wide receiver I told you to draft, and you didn't draft him, and he was a hidden dev, man. Come on.
Oh, he was Roger?
That's all right. Yeah.
You told me to draft?
No, I told Nipple it was in my mock draft. Remember the Tim Allen or whatever?
Yeah.
So like, who's this dude? I was like, you need to draft him. And he's Pat Allen. There you go.
Last team that we have not talked about.
Chiefs have also.
Yep, Condors. Bill has drafted really quietly well. He is not Condors. I'm sorry. Commanders. He said Condors. It was stuck in my head. Listen, like Nipples, I haven't had a drink. It's because I don't drink, but still, if Nipples can blame it for no drink, I can blame it for no drink. I got water. I think the Commanders have drafted exceptionally well. He's really had a solid draft, and he's hit a couple out of the park. We got about 2 more minutes here before we get going. I know nobody here. We were talking about this before we went live. I don't trust none of these fools, and so there was a lot of names I wasn't going to say, but we all sort of laughed at each other. Listen, I got photos and spreadsheets. I got handwritten notes here. I got it all in front of me. That's the thing about the OMFL. We all have our eyes on the same players, and so it's like, well, you might as well say names because we all know the names. There ain't nobody not seeing anybody, but. What do we think is going to happen here as we roll through the end of the second round, get into the third round? Is there a team you got your eye on? Is there a couple of sleepers, no names, but do you have a handful of sleepers you got your eye on that you hope fall? Solid draft so far. It's been pretty spread out, too. There's not been one position outside of cornerback. I guess you could say cornerback that's been drafted really heavy. I'm just going to say it. There's a lot of dang good safety, starter safety quality right here, right now.
Sir.
Like, there's super deep. I'm telling you, 5th, 6th round, somebody's going to pick up a starting safety. This is when you guys say something. That's the whole point of being on the show.
I'm not in camera, so I don't supposed to talk first. It's either Trey or Maniac. They're supposed to go in. Trey is the second one, then Maniac is the third one, so it's supposed to go like that.
Teach them. Say it louder for the people in the back.
What? You call me senior citizen? What? What? All right, I know I got gray on my beard. Yeah, I've got some guys. I'm not gonna name them. Last time I named somebody, next thing so I'm like, but yeah, there's a couple guys that I'm hoping that here in the next couple of picks, I'm fixing to get one, and I hope he's hitting Dev. I kind of feel like he's going to be. Got a couple of them. Definitely looking at some offensive line, defensive line guys. And then, like you said, safety, man. There's a lot of safeties. I really don't need a safety, but yeah.
Here we go. I was letting everybody on the stream know while you were talking. The draft has officially started. Let me go ahead and blast this out and let people know right now that when it gets to the 6th round, part of me wants to say the 5th round, maybe the 5th round. 5th, 6th, and 7th round, you will have 1 minute. I am simming at 1 minute. So I'm going to let everybody know. We got guys flying off. Enrique Jenkins. Ooh, I had a stroke there. Enrique Jenkins to the Seattle Seahawks. They, too, have quietly had a really good draft. Guys, fill it in while I go ahead and let everybody know that they have 1 minute when we get to the 5th round.
I mean, to further answer that question of if I haven't, my whole soul process is who the heck am I taking? That's what I want to do. And maybe I try to get him the unsuspected Brock Purdy treatment.
I know the Steelers just picked up that quarterback that was left out. I think he's going to be a really good one. Nipple, you got anybody that you're looking at that you're hoping slips through the cracks? You don't have to name them.
No, brother, I don't have anything. As I told you guys early, my favorite, the only thing that I have right now is a punter and a kicker, and I know I don't need them, so I don't know what the hell I was doing.
There's
So,
no.
let's go.
I don't believe that at all. Trevor Jordan, free safety out of Oklahoma, is going over to the not the Mounties. What's the little Koch's new team? The Bandits. The Desperados. I'm never going to remember that, so you're going to have to help me. Tracy Colbert, a guy that I was looking at, left tackle out of Florida State, going over to the Mounties. I think the Mounties have not done too bad for themselves. We're off to Maniac, pick 2 of round number 3. So finally into the 3rd round. I was hoping to get through 3 rounds pause draft since we had 6 weeks to get through it, but that did not happen. I don't hate what the Mounties have done. Now, they've got a lot to show me. He's got a lot of holes to fill over there, pause. But outside of that, I think that he's had a pretty solid draft.
Yeah, I would definitely agree on that one.
This is why Nipples is around. Not because he wins championships, even though I think if he focused, he could. Not because he plays all his games, even though he did last season, but because he laughs at my jokes. He's the only one that ever laughs at my jokes, and I appreciate that more than he knows.
Thank you.
How about
Enrique, not a bad player, not a great player, but a pretty solid right guard. Going to go over there to Meek Boy. And doing the Pro Bowl last night, I realized how good of a offensive line they had. They had a really good offensive line. Chat, guys, help me stay up to date with who I should be skipping. That's going to help me out a ton. Paul Tarpley, a tight end that I have my eye on. 85 speed, 89 acceleration, 70 strength. Pretty good player, man. Going to go over there to Black Cats. Nice pick for him. Hidden Dev, too.
Nice.
I did not have him.
Is this Dallas' first pick?
Might be.
Or he already picked him? Yeah?
He always gets out of drafted. I don't think he works a lot. And so he always tries to avoid the draft. I think he just doesn't like it.
It's too lengthy.
Oh, Tim said he only drafted 2 guys. I thought you drafted more than that. My bad, Tim. I still think you had a solid first pick. It was interesting to see, though, how the Mounties decided to go trade for a quarterback and then not draft one when there were some franchise guys there to be had by him. I think there were some conversations about him maybe trading out of the number one pick. I think the number one pick could have been worth a lot. He decided to stay put, and he had a pretty solid pick there. Tracy Colbert, the other guy I was deciding between. Thankfully, I didn't go that way. 85 strength, normal dev. I don't really see anything else, but for the third round pick, not too bad there.
Yeah, the only thing I would question with that one, 23 years old.
Oof. I didn't pick up on that.
Sorry, Trey.
Yeah, it was, those are the two guys that we kind of mentioned when you were talking about your pick there, Nate, and obviously you got the better of the two.
I got a pick coming up here, so I will pause for my picks. Get over it if you don't like it. I really don't care. I do care. It actually hurts my feelings a lot, but I've been talked out of caring anymore because I run the draft show, and so I'm going to go ahead and pause. So you guys fill in the air. I'm going to try not to pause this long and go ahead and get my next pick made.
Oh. Mr. Kev picks up that free safety out of Notre Dame, man. That's Philip Wagner.
Yeah,
that's going to be a good player.
Pick. Yeah, it is. He has big ears though, but he's
my only concern for him is that
What was your concern on him?
Yeah, Trey, I don't hear you.
he might be a better corner than a safety.
That's what I was going to. That's the reason that I was going to pick him because I think he's a cornerback.
So Greg, what's up? Blah 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 blah.
Well, he's only got 88
Curseword.
speed, so that would be a rough cornerback.
Oh, okay.
88 speed and 87 acceleration.
Oh, so that guy sucks then. I'm sorry, Kevin. I'm sorry.
Damn. Shit. Threw him in the oven at 3 or 400.
Hey. Baked and fried.
It's daytime.
Yeah. Oh, Dwayne just posted his guy he just drafted right outside linebacker Grayson. He's a hidden dev. Like Dwayne needs any more hidden dev fast linebackers. Come on.
Oh wow, he looks good. Acceleration 91.
Yeah.
He's really good.
91 acceleration. Yeah. And he's 22, man, 6'3", 244 pounds. You know that guy's gonna be lurking for some picks in the flat and that curl zone.
I hate being able to see my screen right now, but there's no way for me to cover it. It is what it is. Y'all keep talking. It got to me way quicker before I was ready.
Oh, because they can see your screen peeking the. Oh, okay.
Oh yeah.
So let's see who you pick then.
Everybody's scooping up on Nate's transport.
Everybody's got like pens and papers, like writing down, like, oh, wow, this guy.
Not in my draft, they're not. Not in my draft, they're not.
Okay. You going to tie it in?
God dang it. Okay, this is what I'm doing. I hate that y'all can see this. And so we're going to put y'all here. And I'm going to switch my screen. And now y'all can't see nothing because I hate it. I
just put me in the front, Nate.
I just hate it. Y'all are not going to, nope, not doing it.
Hey, so every time Nate picks up, me and Mindy are just covering up the screen?
Yeah, it's us three on the screen, so nobody can see what I'm actually doing here. I'm about to make my pick, fellas.
There you go. And the pick is almost in. Oh, the card's being run down to the commissioner.
Hold up, you tripped on the way down.
Y'all should say other things other than what you're saying now.
Interesting pick by the Titans.
By who?
Interesting pick by the Titans. They cut a lot of their linebacking core and they go and get themselves one of their.
Yeah, I know. I actually picked up one of his linebackers in free agency. It was like a 75 overall guy was my top pickup basically in free agency, but he filled the need, and I think he's still got a little bit left in the tank, so we'll see what happens. But yeah, it's interesting to see what the specs on this guy is. Max Jacobs, right outside linebacker out of Washington. I don't know if he's going to be running a 3-4, 4-3 there in Tennessee. Do you know, Trey?
4-3.
4-3. So this guy's probably going to be a guy that he uses to cover or play the run there.
Yeah, I mean, I'll wait till he posts it, but I've seen the specs on it. Pretty decent looking player, that's for sure.
Nice. Let's see, Nate drafted a tight end, so it's tight end month. Not quite yet, but close, Colt Morris got drafted by the Eagles there, left tackle, so I bet we're going to see a lot of the offensive linemen coming off the board now.
I screwed up.
No, did the Eagles draft an offensive lineman earlier? You'd be more in tune with that maniac.
I'm not sure. He's like one of the only ones I haven't seen or remember seeing it on.
This is why I paused.
The guy that's replacing all.
I panicked and I picked the wrong stinking guy. I had my top pick there, but I was looking at the wrong paper, looked at the wrong thing, and I skipped, and now I'm not going to get him because he's going to be long gone before my next pick. God dang it. Oh, well, it is what it is.
Who was your next pick?
Not telling you.
He ain't going to tell us. It's a false no. Come on,
I try. You're supposed to try. I don't know.
You acted like Nate's like 8 drinks deep.
Dang it. I'm so mad at myself.
But do you post it? Post it, Nate. Maybe it's still good, probably.
No, I'm mad at myself. Okay. Chiefs are up. Then we got the Giants and Mr. Colin, Jaguars and Pepper, Minnesota and their new owner, even though that one's going to be a skip. Should be a good one.
Who's no?
I don't even think that I can pronounce his name.
Mike McClure or the McDonald McClure. He's gonna be here.
Yeah, I see that.
Yeah.
That's a dangerous game from all of you that are in here. You cannot hopscotch with I'm in, I'm out. You got to pick one. So again, I cannot pay attention to these chats when we're rocking and rolling here. So lucky Nipples and all of you seen, but I don't care if you tag me. I cannot pay attention to this chat. So anyway, let's talk some draft. Brian Bernard, right in out of UCLA. He's going to go over to Colin. What about Colin, man? He drafts he had a solid draft, a great draft last year with the Giants. Got his franchise quarterback again because he's had one before, traded him to me, and then I was like, nope, I don't want no part of that. Rebuilt that team. What's it going to take for the Giants to get over the hump here? Because I'm waiting for it to happen here.
I don't know. We saw Colin a few Madden cycle was one of the dominant players in the AFC, and for whatever reason, he went in one slump section with the Chargers and jumped to the Giants and just hasn't found his footing ever since. And I don't know what the answer is.
He just drafted a slow right in, but the guy is 316 with 93 strength, so you can bump him inside, and he becomes a very fast defensive tackle. Hidden dev dude, too.
Yeah, I think the whole deal with Colin is that Dwayne has just been a lockdown in that division. So you've seen some of the games from Colin. He's had some games where he's giving you he's Colin's fixing to come back and be the Colin we all know, and then all of a sudden it's like back to kind of having that almost like a priest mentality, throwing a lot of picks and stuff. So, but I think we've kind of seen that before from him, and it usually tends to be like closer to the end of that Madden cycle. You kind of see Colin get all of his pieces together and all of a sudden make a run and go deep into the playoffs for like those last couple of seasons. So I'm looking for him to come out of it.
Trey, you drafted an all-rookie team, almost Super Bowl MVP quarterback later in kind of the first round. I think he was like 26, 28, somewhere in there, right? So
30,
you have
29,
39, 20, okay. You have an eye for talent. A lot of the quarterbacks are gone, right? They went pretty early in this draft. We have Levi Mills. He was the fastest wide receiver. I'm pretty sure the fastest wide receiver left. So he's going to be with Colin, who has so much speed. I mean, not Colin, Lil Koch. Let me come back to you and finish this thought, though. Are there any quarterbacks that you think could still be drafted that are worth being drafted that could maybe be just like a surprise starter on somebody's team?
I have scouting. I've done 4 guys that I think could fit that role, and potentially a 5th.
Yeah, I've only really got one guy on my list, but I do think that there are some possible good players. Little Koch, oh crud, I just lost his name. Levi Mills. He was my best wide receiver left on the board. He has super speed. I was hoping he'd fall a little further, but again, nothing falls in this league, which is why I know my stupid mistake's going to burn me because I'm never going to get that guy now. I don't pick again to the 5th round. The Desperados, boy, that's going to take quite some time to get used to. I got to add all those logos. Anyway, the Desperados, tons of speed, tons of athleticism, had a pretty good offensive year last year, and he just adds more speed, more athleticism, more playmakers to that team. What's it going to take for the Desperados to really be a team that can make it to an AFC championship, possible represent the AFC in the OMFL Bowl? Because he's got the players.
I mean, it's all there. It's got to fall into his game plan. He's one of 2 teams that have a win last season against the OMFL champion. So that's got to say something. He can compete. The chips need to fall in his favor, and sometimes his style is a very risque, and it comes and bites him in the rear end. And the other time he gets risky and he's busting 99-yard touchdowns.
Yeah, I think you've seen from Lil Koch. His style is like fast pace, big play. I think he's always looking for the big play down the field, especially with the wide receivers that he has, the offense. But his defense, I think, on paper they look really strong, but it seems like if you notice a lot from his games and stuff, he's always seems to be like in some kind of shootout where it's like 40 points being scored by both teams. And so if he can ever get the defense figured out and actually start putting the opponents only scoring like 20 points a game or something like that, he's going to be deadly. So I really feel like that's what it's going to take for him to get over the hump.
Minnesota with 2, I guess he had 2 picks back to back or 2 picks close. I don't know. He posted 2 different photos of 2 different players, both hidden development guys. And so
wait, what's this?
So Minnesota adding to some of his team here as Nipples, I hate to use this word, but milks this clock all the way down to just a couple
I just don't remember how I got this big. I'm completely honest. Completely honest.
I'm pausing. I paused you at 2 seconds. I paused you at 2 seconds because I love you. All right. That's a good.
Yeah, I love that name.
That is a good pick. He was my only draftable cornerback that was left. Harvey Moorhead, cornerback out of Florida. Tell me about him because I had him pretty high on my list.
I don't know how he looks. I was pressing a lot over the X, so I haven't even see. I don't know how he looks now because I was pressing X fast, so I don't know how he looks. So.
Oh, it's all good. Derek
more
Johnson,
Fitz
free
nipples.
safety out of Oklahoma, goes to Arizona. He was
more head with
also
a pick.
super high on my list if we can understand what's happening through all this madness that's going on right now. Keon Mentor, middle linebacker out of Oklahoma State, going to go over to the Raiders. I really liked him too. He was my second best middle linebacker that was left. Really liked him. Really good player. Again, here in the third round, man, really good players are starting to fly off the board here. We have our first fullback. Oh, no, it's a free safety. Sorry. I love this free safety that Arizona got, Joker got. 91 speed, 92 acceleration, hidden development, 64 strength. Don't love that part of him. 204, so a little light in the pants, but he'll be able to make plays over there in Arizona. Oh, I like this one better for the Bengals. Andrew Pettis, free safety out of Michigan. He was higher than Derek Johnson for me. I hope that Denver posts a photo because I think this guy has potential to be a real big-time playmaker there in Cincinnati. A team that seems to like start off slow and then all of a sudden get hot and then roll through the first round of the playoffs and then just completely poop himself as he gets deeper into the playoffs. I want to see Denver really put it together and make another big run here. But his best friend is going to be on his tail with the Desperados now.
Yeah. I'm really disappointed at Denver. I told him, like, I can't. So when I place against him, he's a bad guy. If he's my enemy, to put it that way. But I just want him to make it so bad as well as a little cushy. But I don't know what the hell are they doing. Like, come on, they have everyone to make it to get it done, and I don't know what is going on with them. So, bro, come on, bro. Damn! Oh my God. He chokes in the playoff.
He has.
Chokes in the playoff. I keep telling him, bro, what you're doing? Stop doing that. Like,
last
come
couple
on.
seasons, he definitely has not played his best ball in the playoffs, which is not normal Denver football. He's normally one of these guys that plays really great. Chad Arnett, my number one running back left, halfback out of Texas Southern, going to stay right there in Texas and play for Roger and the Houston Texans. Really like that pick for him. He is building quite the powerhouse on offense there in Houston. More and more good players just keep showing up, and if he can just stay healthy physically, in person, real life, I think that he's going to play really, really good. Andrew Pettis, photo from Denver, 91 strength, 92 acceleration, 66 strength, so not quite as good as I thought. He's very close to Derek Johnson, but he is a normal dev, so Derek has that on him. Now, I say this time and time again, and I do stand by it, but I, especially this draft, because I actually had draft picks, get caught up in it. How do we feel about overrated, underrated, or rightly rated of hidden devs? I feel like we freak out over it just a little too much.
It comes with it depends on the dev. Like, if you get a star dev, it's nothing special. You get a little bit of an X. You get a superstar guy, it's a bigger XP boost plus potential for some abilities. If you can draft an X Factor, that can be a game changer.
Yeah, I'm looking at it this way though.
Don't get choked up over it. Just share your thoughts. That's all.
Oh, I know, man. I'm still kind of getting over all my junk that I had, but I look at it this way: like, even if it's just a star dev, you're still getting a boost. You know, especially with the way Madden's made up. You know, you can put them in the training, and they'll get a little bit of boost on top of whatever, the training that you'll get on top of that. And so even though it may be just star, you can still kind of get a guy and build them up a little bit quicker, especially if you highlight them in your training and stuff. So, but yeah, I mean, I think it's overrated because, I mean, you can take a normal dev guy and if they got good stats, I mean, you can build them up too. But it's still nice though to get that hidden dev guy. So
I think it depends on the position that you want to. Kobe said it as well. Oh my God, yeah. Uh, so for example, I have this defensive tackle that I drafted in the last season, and he was normal development, and he still got 13 sacks by himself without using it. So but yeah, I mean, it all depends. I don't know. I think if you have a hidden guy, you're probably gonna try to spend him a lot, which is can cost you games. So sometimes I think it's much better to have just normal development. I don't know. That's me.
Good point. That's a good point.
I don't know.
Yep. I think I agree with everything that you guys are saying. There are some positions it sort of matters. But I also agree that there are some positions where it's a bit overrated,
Yeah, definitely.
Antoine Hills, left in out of Ohio, going to go over to the Desperados. It's kind of funny to see these two custom teams back to back like this. We're off to the 4th round, boys. One more round, and we'll be down to a minute per pick,
It's going fast.
which is it's already down to I think a minute and a half, so it's only 30 seconds, but still. Tyson Johnson, tight end out of Oregon State. I think this was a guy that I possibly had my eye on. I'm trying to look at my list really quick.
He was on my list.
This is not a guy that I had on my list, but we know that Tim likes his tight ends. Nipples.
Oh, we got a punter.
Who did you take in your last pick?
That's my guy. No, wait, who was it? Oh no, I still have my
Gavin Bradley. Yeah.
No, I still have my punter.
Hey,
I'm not gonna take him, but
who was your last pick? Somebody said you picked a center?
Yeah, I did.
Who'd you pick?
I don't know. He had like a really strong name.
Atlas Kennedy,
but he has really good stats.
Yeah.
What's his name?
Conetides. It's something about God War. I don't know. He looks like a God War type of PlayStation dude.
He was my mistake pick.
Mighty strange.
He was my mistake pick.
Really good guy.
He was my mistake pick. That was the guy I was supposed to take in the 3rd round, and I screwed it up. And
you were going to take that guy?
Yep, and I knew he was not going to fall. I'm so pissed off at myself.
There's another one though.
I don't think so. I think he was the only
last
one.
Took him. They took him. I don't know who.
God, I'm so pissed off about it.
I'm sorry.
No, you shouldn't be sorry.
That guy, if you want.
You shouldn't be sorry.
Seahawks, I think, took him.
Houston taking the first punter off the board. Did we have our first fullback yet? No fullback, because we have a bet for the mock draft. Both guys have put in their bets about who they think is going to take a fullback first, and we'll see who takes the fullback first, and see if any one of those guys win. If not, they got to play rock paper scissors or something. I don't know. D Money wins a lot around here. Maybe I just give it to Raj.
I told him the tiebreaker. Raj had the first 2 picks right, and then D Money had the 2 out of the top 3, so he missed the second pick. So to me, that was the tiebreaker. But
really like this pick here, Peter Lawrence for the Denver Broncos. He was my second rated right in at the time of making this. Elis Lowe, left in out of Georgia. Let's see if I've got him on my list here. I do not, but my list is way out of date by now. Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
The punter.
Another team.
The punter's hidden down.
Yeah, I seen that.
Oh, really? Really?
Maniac and I were looking at Pro Bowl last night, and I realized that his quarterback and both receivers still had an all-pro season, even without the wins. And so clearly it isn't an offensive passing situation. It's a defensive situation, turn the ball over in inopportune times. And so, we got to see what Kevin can do there. Turning things around, needs to get pressure on the quarterback, protect his quarterback. If he can do those 2 things, he's going to double his wins pretty easily.
Oh, yeah.
Now, question for you, Nate. Fifth, sixth, seventh round, things tend to less talkative. Are we going to reveal the Pro Bowl in the fifth and sixth round?
Hey, good point. We can. We'll also take in a couple of interviews. We can probably start that when we get towards the end of the fourth round. And so if you want to be interviewed, we're in the Discord chat. You can use your phone. You can use your computer. You can use your laptop. You can use, I think you can even use like tin cans with a string attached to it if you've got good enough Wi-Fi. So feel free to jump in here. I know Kevin's already been hanging out with us tonight, and so we'll start calling on some people. What you can do to help me out is let Trey know that you would like to be interviewed in a DM or whatever you'd like to do. Slide into his DMs. No dick pics, please.
Whoa.
But let him know that you'd like to be interviewed, and we're all dudes. We can say that word. Just let him know that you want to be interviewed. I'll ask you to unmute. We'll bring you on here. We'll do a quick interview. So we'll do that when we get towards the end of the fourth round. And then, yeah, Trey, we can reveal the Pro Bowl roster. I need to go pull it up, but I think that'll be easy to find.
Be cool.
We'll get that pulled out.
Cool.
And we'll look at it. Rashawn Wheatley, what a great name. There was a running back named Wheatley back in the day. Played for the Raiders, I want to say.
Tyron Wheatley.
Yeah, that dude was a monster. So much fun to have. There's our first fullback, and neither guy selected him. So, Raj, if you're here, go figure out another way to pick a winner. I don't care how you do it. Cheat
Even
if you want
Roger.
to. You select. You
He's the
put it
one who
together.
created.
So, Raj wants to know, Trey, if it's okay if he sends you hairy butthole pics. I don't really have a fight in the battle, so I don't really care. Hey, listen, no judgment zone. We were talking about this. Listen, those PUBG Warzone chats get pretty risque sometimes. Not as risque as the one time I watched Nipple stream, and he was saying some seriously racist stuff towards the right people he was playing, and it really hurt my feelings. But he thinks I don't know Spanish. I knew enough Spanish to know he was talking about the white people.
I was so drunk in that one. I was really drunk on that stream. I do remember that stream. I was really drunk on that one. But I was having fun.
You were having fun. You always have fun. But we were talking about how far down the hole in life pause that you have to fall down to get into feet pics. And so, listen, if you're into feet pics or hairy booty holes, that's your business. I ain't gonna get into it. Raj, he says no hairy booty hole pics. Send him some of those pictures you sent me the other day with that gaping wound that needed to be flushed out that grossed me out. Like, send him some of those pictures. That'll do the trick.
No, thank you.
Andrew
I don't want to be
Lowry.
punished for winning.
Trey, you're our name expert. How would you say this name? Lowry, Lawry? Lowry. I guess I overcomplicated it. My bad. No one's helping me about who to skip, and I keep seeing more here. Lost said he's done. Too many distractions. Since he said he's done. Fleury has not said that he's redone for the second time, so I will not skip him. But if y'all can help us try our best to stay on top of these.
Nate, I have a question though.
I have an answer.
Who's reading like that? Oh my God.
There's no telling around here.
Nate, what about the other show? Did the guys do the other show?
No, Big Hurt. Somebody just said this in the chat. Big Hurt is playing another league game. Big Hurt doesn't have time for us anymore.
That show sucked. No, I'm joking. No. It's just that
Listen, everybody here can do what they want.
No. Hear me out. It's just that I thought that it's much better when everyone is in the same stream. I know that a lot of people can be crazy, but I thought that everyone in the same stream would be much better, much fun. So
listen.
No, I'm just saying the show didn't suck, but no one watched it. But it didn't suck. It doesn't matter.
I love her, but I will be honest that I get really put out. I get really put out when I had to put the muzzle on everybody during the bowl game in chat. People, you were the villain during that bowl game, Mr. Trey.
I heard.
Yeah, it was not great.
I heard everybody.
They had the pitchforks,
Yeah. Anyway, I would say that I do get a little put out by people who talk about how great the OMFL is and how they want to help make content and they want to share the Twitch page, and then they disappear during the time that we need to be making content. So it is what it is at this point. I'll carry the load. I got broad shoulders. I don't have broad shoulders, but I just say that because I can carry the load here. We are already to pick number 13, round number 4, and this show is crashing and burning already. Pepper and the Jaguars. He took over a very good team that had some pretty good talent there. Now, he was pretty unplugged. He was building a brand new house, moving, that kind of stuff. What are we expecting from Pepper and the Jaguars this year?
Is the house done?
He has moved in. The house is done. He said, listen, the house is probably never done, but.
That's like good.
If the house is done, we can actually
respect that. But I respect that. I respect that.
If the house is done, you can focus on the games. Both get interesting between the Condors, the Jaguars, the Texans, and the Titans. All four are teams that, if they're all in, it's going to be a shootout to see who ends up with the win in that division.
Kevin McAdams, center out of Iowa, I guess going over to the Jaguars.
I was going to say, I guess that's a good point, man. If the house is done, then it's time to get locked and loaded, Pepper. No excuses.
Yeah. That's true. I mean, it's coming from. It is really difficult when you're having some life-changing moments. I mean, I have never had to wait for a house to get done like but my apartment's already done. But yeah, I mean, given his situation, I know it's difficult to get settled on and all that stuff. So, but I think, I mean, Pepper is in a strong division anyways, so he has to be 100% in to win that division. So it's a really strong division. But you guys saw the quarterback from Calling? He's really good.
Wheeler is very good. Did he post a photo of him? That is a steal of a draft. He did. Hidden development, 95 throwing power. I don't know what he's going to do now because now he's got technically 2 could-be franchise quarterbacks. That guy's really good. In the 4th round. Chase Dawson, he's the other guy. I cannot believe it, y'all. Out of all the teams that take this kid, he freaking goes to the San Francisco 49ers. I'm sick to my stomach that that's where he went. I was hoping this guy would fall. I was going to take a flyer on him. He's got speed. He's going to have a pretty decent arm. And freaking D-Money is going to have a starting quarterback that he's going to build up on a rookie deal. I give up.
Yeah.
D-Money, post the photos. I want to see the quarterback. I wonder
if he's going to be part of his import.
Our only hope is that he's from Minnesota.
God dang it, y'all. Now I got to go pick up my papers.
This is what happens when... This is what happens when they hear...
God. I'm the next pick.
You're not the next pick. You're the current pick, friend.
I'm not paying attention to it.
Oh, no.
Listen, I'm going to give you a pause. This is your last pause.
I'm just enjoying the stream.
This is your last pause. After this, you got to stick with it.
I will never understand this. I can never get a trade offer to work, but everybody goes to the trade. And it always benefits him.
I've never understood it. I have never understood how he finds so many great deals. I had to give away Marshawn Lattimore to get a 2nd round pick. I had to give away Ramczyk for a 2nd round pick. This guy is getting 1st round picks for nobodies. Like, I don't know how he does it. He must have dirty pictures of people's wives. That's the only thing I can think. That is literally the only thing I can think.
Blackmail.
I mean, he does work in like government, like background check agency situation. So it would not surprise me if he's got everybody's hairy butthole pics.
Thank you, man. I appreciate you. I took whatever halfback because I needed one to complete the 3 halfback, but I don't need it. I just need to sign one right
What a
now.
name.
I mean, I have to draft one, so I don't have to sign him. But he's really good, though.
Yeah,
good.
what a name, Squalls. All right,
Yeah,
we're at
I'm
pick
going by
number
names now.
17.
He's gonna squall them tires.
I'm gonna
He
start
squall
picking
them
like
tires.
nipples. Just I'm going by names. That's the key here. If he's got a weird name, it means Roger messed with him. Just go draft that guy. Bill's back on the clock with the Commanders. Then we're over to Twinkie.
I was figuring to say, I think a lot of people have kind of figured that out.
I can't tell the difference, so good luck. I'm just not the smartest.
Dom
It's kind of
Holly.
difficult to see names.
I was
so.
trying to make a joke and then I hesitated because I was like, nobody's going to get it. But I was going to say, I'm not the smartest knife in the drawer. But then I was like, oh, nobody's going to get it. And everybody's talking on top of one another. But anyway, Dom
You're not the
Holly.
sharpest knife in the drawer.
I know.
Not the smartest.
That's what I'm saying. That's why it's funny. I'm so dumb, I can't even get the saying right. See what I mean? It loses something when you explain it, right? Now you both are getting it. I am not the smartest knife in the drawer. It means you're so stupid you can't even get the saying right. We got the Eagles, San Francisco 49ers, Atlanta Falcons, Arizona Cardinals, and Las Vegas Raiders all on a run here. Las Vegas took a step back last year. Not quite the team that we expected after having that really great season. Now people are telling me, see, Roger, the people I got in here are not telling me, right? I need people to tell me. You got to tell me. I got to catch an eye
Come
here.
on.
Can we skip D Money
I'm
just
sorry,
for the
I'm
sake of
sorry.
skipping D Money? Anyway,
I forgot about it.
I want to talk Eagles. I want to talk Raiders. Raiders took a step back last year after that really great season with this rookie quarterback. What expectations, if any, do we have of the Raiders? He seems to be like one of those teams that's just kind of hot, cold, hot, cold, hot, cold.
Yeah, you can't really have any expectations because you never know if he's going to thrive or if he's going to sink back into the early 2000s, early 2010s version.
I'm focusing on my pick. Sorry. So
Yeah, focus on the pick. I want to talk Eagles too.
So I will say something about the 49ers. Oh my God, the Raiders. So the thing that I think that he has to do is change his game plan. Why? So me, from someone who plays him at least every season, he does the same game plan. So he has never changed the game plan. So I don't want to say exactly what he do, but it's like
change it,
exactly,
but don't really change it so I can keep beating
what he's
you.
going to probably do in third downs or whatever. So I think he has to be more strategy, or I don't know, or just do something crazy or surprising, to put it that way. I think he can make it, to be honest. He's a really good user. I just think that he has to change his game plan, maybe a little bit.
Riley Green, tight end out of USC, one of the best tight ends left, going to have speed. I can't believe goes to San Francisco 49ers. And this guy is just wiping the table right now in round number 4. San Francisco having a solid draft here, especially late. This is where I think you separate sort of the men from the boys. I think this is what separated Trey's team in this past season. What really has set Trey up for success the rest of this cycle is that solid, 3 to 5 round. What do you do in those rounds? Can you find those gems in there before everybody else does? And I think that's what really separates teams. And unfortunately, we're seeing D-Money get it done right now. Another safety going over to the Arizona Cardinals. I really like this guy, Brenton Dowling, out of Nevada. He is on my list. He was my 4th best when I made the list, my 4th best safety in my top 5. They're stacking up on some DBs back there, trying to add some speed and athleticism. Maniac, you just drafted you an offensive lineman. What do you think?
He's normal dev, but man, he's I think 21. He's 87 strength. He's got an A rated for impact block, B for awareness. So a lot of those can be important for offensive linemen. Put him in. Gonna start focus training on him. He'll be part of the cog here this next season.
Brenton, the safety that just went to Arizona, hidden dev guy, 91 speed, 92 acceleration, 61 strength, 197. So needs to get the strength, needs to get the weight up a little bit, but really, really good player going over to Arizona. He is bragging about his 4-for-4 hidden dev draft positions here. So really great draft for Arizona. He's looking to build on what they've done for the last couple of seasons. Speaking of a team with a lot of really good players, the Miami Dolphins are now on the clock. Man, we seen him just get so hot last season, but just kind of fell on it right there towards the end. Wasn't able to get over the hump and found himself just a little bit sharp. They take Clay Sims, wide receiver out of Baylor.
He's in a division that's got two really good players in Hurt and Kobe, and then if losses check in, was always competitive. So to make it to the playoffs is nice, but ever since that OMFL Bowl 4 seasons back, he's been getting in and then getting tossed. So you'd like to see him try and get that footing again.
Priest back on the clock.
The one thing he has going for him, though, is that quarterback, man. So 50 touchdowns, and I think only like 23 picks. So he was on target with him, so you can't go wrong with the Dolphins.
Somebody please tell me his receiver finally regressed. I mean, he's got to be 48 years old now.
I double checked. They still have like 99 speed, so no.
Golly.
Yeah, that's one of the first
I'm
things
waiting
that
for the wheels to fall off that guy. Paul Hooks, what a great name. Cornerback out of Penn State going over to Green Bay, who is very cornerback light right now. He needs a lot of help over there in that cornerback room. Green Bay is needing to add some athletes over there. I still think, even though he's had a really good season, it's going to be a rough one.
Well, Mr. Nate, we do have our first interviewer who attended the show.
Sweet. Is it going to be Mr. Kobe?
Please welcome, everybody, Mr. Kobadiah Burgess.
Welcome, Mr. Kobe of the New York Jets. Kobe, how you doing tonight, bud?
I'm doing well. How you doing?
Good draft for Mr. Cliff Claiborne, your last pick, Mr. 89 speed. I really like 68 strength, a little stronger than some of these other guys. Hidden development, 90 acceleration, adding some athleticism, some playmaking ability to the back end of those Jets defense.
Yeah, I was looking for a safety this draft to be my big nickel safety because I like to bring my strong safety from last year's draft down into the box and my nickel packages like that. So I needed another safety to be my big nickel safety to go and play the deep end of the zone.
Your team, red hot last year, really rebuilt after Rodgers' first season and really had all the pieces. It seems to be a little bit of a love-hate relationship with the quarterback situation over there. What were the goals coming into the offseason, and do you feel like you were able to achieve those?
Honestly, like my goals, like after the season ended and taking a step back and like looking at the team, like I feel like this might be the most complete team I've ever had going into a draft. Like I'm not looking for any starters at all for the first time, I think, ever. I'm just looking for potential backups. I mean, if I get somebody that surprises me, that's fine. They might be a starter. For example, the tight end I drafted might actually become my starter. But I just needed another tight end. Same thing with the safety. He's going to be my backup safety that plays in my big nickel formation. So this feels like the most complete team I've ever had. My quarterback situation is love-hate. But honestly, he kept his superstar dev from last season. He played well enough to be a superstar. I'm hoping that helps him be more consistent and improve my relationship with him moving forward.
Tell me about the team this year moving forward. It is your most complete team, but what areas do you feel like are more complete now than what you had in the past?
Honestly, my defense is probably the best it's ever been. I feel like after last year's draft and the previous year, I have the secondary. I feel like the secondary is better than it's ever been. I have Sauce, who actually played really well last year, who's up to a 99. He's an X-Factor corner. My X-Factor strong safety that was a rookie last year, the previous year's Rookie of the Year in game in my free safety. I have a strong safety and a free safety that competed for Rookie of the Year back-to-back years. And then my defensive line is probably the best one in the league, and I barely use it. So I don't have to touch it, and I can just use my linebackers, which makes it so much fun. And if I want to, I can go hop on a corner and use my slot corner that doesn't have any abilities, and I can take away not only my superstars will take away your outside receivers, and I can personally take away your slot, or if I want to try and take away your tight end. So probably my defense is probably the most complete team I've ever, probably the most complete aspect of my team.
I'm not skipping you because I know you're remote playing, so I'm going to be a little bit more patient with your picks. But everybody else, we're on the minute clock now. Also, when you mentioned play cornerback, I felt nipples get hard in that second, like the moment that he heard user a cornerback. Fellas, what do you have for our guy Kobe here?
For Kobe, I think it's the same question as last season. I don't know how you're still using Zach Wilson. I think I still told you after our game. We played this season, right? It was last season. It was this season?
This year. It was this year.
Yeah, it was this year. He cost you the game. And I told you.
He did.
Yeah, bro. He cost you the game. I won the game because of Zach Wilson. So what do you think that it will? I didn't watch entirely your game, the playoff game. I think Zach Wilson did good, but are you planning to do something different for this season? Are you planning to use a little bit less passing, more rushing game? Is there something that you probably can do better for this next new season?
So I don't know if this gets talked about. So I don't know if this gets talked about in terms of this is my biggest thing with us going to All Pro that doesn't actually get talked about. So for me, what I noticed on the All Madden difficulty was the inability to use certain formations and certain plays because I felt as if the timing for certain plays was thrown off and something that we were not used to at all. So, for example, there was a formation I love to run that I ran all the first 2 seasons on All Pro, which has this really weird route that cuts up the middle. And every time I throw it, if you run cover 2, it's open. However, when we went to All Madden, Zach and Aaron would just miss the throw. And I couldn't figure out if it was a timing issue, if it was an accuracy issue. I really just feel like All Madden was making me miss the throw. However, so when we're going back to All Pro, I really expect my ability to change my game plan up and actually throw in routes I never done. That's what I expect. I expect to be able to mix up my formations and go back and make it easier for Zach because he'll be actually able to, hopefully, use the whole field, if that makes sense.
Got it. No, it does make. I'm also doing my picks, but yeah, I mean, it does make sense. I just want to say that I really respect you a lot. To be real for you, I really respect you. After we play our game, I was rewatching the game. I don't usually do it, but since you commentate a lot, I like to learn from people who commentate their own games, and I have a lot of respect for you, bro. So I'm excited for you for this new season. I hope that you can get it done. I mean, I tell everyone this. I hope at the end of the day that you cannot get it done, so I'm the one who can get it done. But I have to say it as a good player as well. So I respect.
He reminds me of the rest of my co-host here. It's my pick. I can't keep up, but let me keep talking here while I try to be over me.
I'm done. I got my pick. I think. Yeah, we're good. No, but yeah, I'll keep doing what you do, and again, keep doing those games with you, commentating those games because I did it. I really appreciate you, and also what I really appreciate about you is that you use the cornerback. I know that not so many people does it, and you do it. So I also like when I have to play another user cornerback. So you're a really great player, but mostly you're a really good owner of OMFL. So I just wanted to let you know that.
Thank you. I appreciate that, Nips. I love you too. I'll just say it. I love you too.
Thank you. Yeah. That's the whole point.
Can't you feel the love tonight? Kobe. Man, You're talking about your quarterback, the love hate. I got to know, do you have a backup that you're going to throw in when you have that hate situation going on to give the other guy a little bit of love?
I have a plan for a draft pick. I don't know if he's going to be available, but if he's not, I don't have a backup, to be honest with you.
Mm. So you got a backup plan to the backup plan? Or?
Riveting questions from this group. I
don't
can't
have
get
a backup
Nipples
for the
to
backup
shut
plan,
up.
But
He's over there making out with Kobe, and these two here on screen are falling asleep. I don't even know what they're doing. Y'all are killing me tonight here.
It's different when you're on camera. It's like I don't know. It's a little different because you're distracted a little bit more. But
Kobe, real expectations for season 109 with these Jets. You've been right there. You haven't taken any step back. You've been right there every single season, but it has been a couple seasons since we've seen you in the big game. So what are your real expectations?
objectively looking at my team and how I feel about it, I feel as if I should be able to make the big game. I feel like I should be 17-0 with the way my team is, just like in that first season with Aaron. The only question is, will Zach perform to the level I need him to be? That is the only question I have.
Guys, give me some closing questions for Mr. Kobe before we let him out of here.
Go ahead, Trey.
Well, Mr. Cub, as you know, and the core four is back in the OMFL. Do you feel like that's going to help game plan for everybody else, or is it going to be, I got to top the core four, prove a point that I'm the better of the four teams?
That's an interesting question. To me, it's like I can't really argue with who's better or not because y'all have more rings than me. So I'm not going to make the argument until I have more rings than you.
Fair enough, fair enough.
That's how I do.
You've got a very interesting schedule on. You very mix of highs and lows in the. Do you feel like this is probably your best schedule to test your defense that has the Rookie of the Year on it?
I feel as if my schedule in year one was more difficult than it is this year. I feel as if that I have to play you and a bunch of the number one or the division leaders. So it's always going to be a hard schedule. But I feel like that first year was the most complete schedule and was my most successful schedule. So I'm not really too worried about the schedule. I am really excited I get a chance to play you. I am really excited to get a chance to play Meek. So that's what I'm really excited about. I don't get a chance to play you guys very often in regular season games, in big games. So that's what I'm really excited about in terms of my schedule. But in terms of its completeness, I don't think it compares to the first year that we had.
All right. Mini?
I was trying to think how to word this question, but so and just say for Grins, you make it to the OMFL Bowls next season.
Pause real fast. Pause real fast. Pause real fast. Oh my God! Pulse, Maniac. I gotta say this. Nipples. I'm not giving you extra time. You got to get that pick in no time. Okay, go, Maniac. Sorry.
Yeah. Thank you for letting me know because I didn't know. I was looking at my phone.
You make the OMFL Bowls next season. Who do you look? Who do you want to face in that bowl game? The defending champ, or you want to face like a D Money? And what team you face do you think makes the biggest statement that says Kobe is the man in the OMFL?
I feel as if that title cannot be taken away until somebody wins more than D Money or has a more consistent run. So, for example, if Trey were to win, let's just say 3 straight, he could then make that claim. I don't feel like that claim can be made until something like that happens. But to answer your question, the biggest I feel like is always D Money. I don't like Trey's the defending champion, but Trey's got 2. D Money got what, 9? I don't actually know his number, but like 9 or 10.
He won 5 in a
I feel
row.
like-
I'm pretty sure.
So if he's won 5 in a row, then nobody's dethroning him until they win 6. If someone won 6,
Yeah.
Nate might kick him out, but still.
Listen, he barely made it to 5. I'm just going to be honest, all right? You win 5 in a row, people are ready for your head to roll.
I'm sure. So for next year,
I haven't even won 2 in a row, and
Trey, I just respectfully, it's
Damn
because
it,
you're just
Bill.
very loud. It's because you're very loud about your winning. If you were a little bit more humble about it, they wouldn't want your head to roll.
I agree on that. I'm not supposed to be that guy, but I agree on that. Yeah.
But I say that if I have to go, I'll go D Money as like the most important. Then I say D Wayne because he might not have been there for a long time or a decent amount of time, but he's still very respected and a very good player. And then I think it goes after that, any of my friends. So a Trey, Malik, I'd love to see Malik in the big game. I'd love to get there with him and then take it from him. That would be great. I would love that bragging right. Same thing with Trey. Would love to get there with him and then take it from him. And I'm sure that he would love that as well. Those are my 4 that I'd like to see in a big dance.
All right, sweet.
Well, Mr. Kobe, I appreciate you, man. Thanks for making time to come be with us, pulling for your Jets, and I expect you to be fully dynamic as you have been for the last few seasons. So looking forward to see what you do. Looking forward to seeing you in the field, man, and I appreciate you coming to make the time to be on the show.
No problem. I appreciate y'all for having me.
All right, there you have it, Mr. Kobe of the New York Jets. That guy is so dominant and consistent. He's always there. Yeah, Bill, I want to see a photo of that linebacker because he was on my list and I was hoping he'd just fall a few more picks here. He did not. So is what it is. Fellas.
I am going to refute Kobe's statement. He does not have the best defensive line. He has the best 3-4 defensive line.
You are too much. I can't get caught up in y'all's drama. People were a little confused by the Core 4 comment that was made. They said it's the name of y'all's boys band that you're putting together, the Core 4. I am not in that boy band, so I do not sing. But maybe it's Kobe, Nipples, Trey, and Maniac in that one. See, Mr. Pootie T. That's up to my buddy Pootie T.
That's Penguins, Meek, Kobe, and myself.
Man, Bill, I really like him. I know he's normal dev, but man, I would have been very happy with him had he fallen a couple more picks here. You got 4 seconds, Mr. Maniac.
Mania, you need to pay attention.
I'm only being kind because I paused for Nipples, so I can be a little bit more kind. But I'm not being kind to owners. You guys know it's coming, so go ahead and get ready. We got the Cardinals pick number 21 here in the 5th round. Raiders, Bengals, Jets, Dolphins, and then my Saints. Come and let us know if you want to be interviewed by us. After hearing the Kobe interview, I doubt anyone wants to step back into this room. But if you're open to it and you want to do it, come and step in here. Nipples, a follow-up question for you. You play Kobe every single season or at least often. I don't know if y'all play every single season, but what makes him so difficult to defend?
What was that? I didn't hear the last part. I'm sorry.
What makes the Jets? What makes Kobe so difficult to defend?
Oh, Kobe, that you think, you remember when I was talking about Raiders that you know already what he's probably going to do? Kobe was the opposite. He's just the opposite on that.
No, I think you're good.
Kobe is just that, again, you don't know what play he will draw, what play he will call. He's just a smart player. Again, that's what I wanted to watch his game after we play because I won by 3 or 4 points. I don't remember. That's one of the few games that I'm actually log in and sit down and wanted to play really bad. because again, I like owners who plays like that a lot. I feel like it's gonna be a really fun game. So he's just smart. You don't have, I mean, everyone is smart here though, but you don't have that type of owner sometimes in some downs, specific downs, to be honest.
Fellas, take it away. I'm quickly trying to look through the list here as it got to me before I was ready.
Yeah,
Hey, I have a question for Trey.
Shoots.
Okay, Trey, what are the YouTube videos that you mostly watch for your game?
Oh, you are such a wiener.
I'm joking. I can do it. I'm joking, bro. I'm joking. I respect you. No. I mean,
I've stopped watching Madden YouTube because of you guys.
No. So it is true that some plays may be from YouTube, but he knows how to do that plays. Because if I was the one,
I got
every owner can do it, but not every owner can do it as straight. You have to respect that. You have to know how to do it.
We got our next guest on the show. Old defending champions.
Congratulations! I never say congratulations. By the way, about your Super Bowl. I never congratulate you. So congratulations about your bowl. By the way, I never said that to you. So congratulations. No, absolutely.
Thank you.
Trey, send me a link.
But anyways, Mr. Bronco Man, any fun? Sure. It's called twitch.tv/the Vikes Bowl. Prime. You'll get your play calls.
I'm happy that you took it up. Yeah. I'm happy with that.
But anywho, now that everybody's off their jokes and whatnot, Mr. Bronco, welcome to the show. If you're there.
What's up, guys? Can you hear me?
Hey. Howdy, good sir.
Good. How are y'all doing?
Doing good. How are you feeling? I'd say a heartbreaking one and done performance in the playoffs.
Yeah, it was the best season I've had, regular season wise, in the league, and I get first round bounced. I mean, fly under the radar, make it to the bowl, and then when I'm playing well in the regular season, I get first round bounced. But it's going to happen. Everybody in this league can play.
What went wrong for you in that game? Is there positions that you felt you needed to help that you maybe wanted to address in this draft, or is it was just getting outplayed a bit?
A little bit of both. I mean, my secondary was getting cooked by. Ritter was playing a lot better than I think he should have. I wasn't getting pressure. I just think all around defensively, a lot of holes I need to fill. And then personally, I did not play the game the way that I played all season. That got me to 13-4. I played a game not to lose, and I lost. And it was just not the Condors that got the 1 seed.
I got to ask before we continue this interview. Are you safe? Are you being kidnapped? Are you being held as hostage? Do we need to call somebody? We got this
I was going to
low
say
voice.
exactly
Has somebody got you kidnapped? Just blink twice if we need to call somebody.
You're ready to have sexy sex or something after this because your voice is I'm ready to go.
Listen, this is the mindset of this group. I think that you're being kidnapped and held hostage. Nipples get hard. He immediately thinks you're being sexy with him. All right, Trey, continue.
I'm a little bit under the weather, so yeah, my voice.
How can you continue after that? Yeah.
yeah. Where do we go? You've been kidnapped, having a fun time on the cruise that Nipple went. Where do you go from here?
All right, we got Trey and Maniac up back to back, so I will step in here. Bronco Man, what a great season from you. I know that that's a really tough loss whenever you step into it and just kind of get bounced, but your quarterback played exceptionally well. Did you feel like you seen the improvement from him stepping into another season? His, I think, first full season without being hurt, because he was hurt a lot of that championship season. Did he show you some improvement?
Oh, yeah. I mean, with him, it was the battle for me was first season was Richardson. He either was electric or he was terrible, and that's why I relied on Jonathan Taylor so much. And then I kind of started building with Richardson, and it sucked because he probably missed between the first 2 seasons, 10 combined games, and kind of I feel like it hurt his dev a little bit. But this last season, I mean, I don't think he got any votes, but what's his name? Brad White had a fantastic season, but Richardson, he was up there in touchdowns, not so much in yards, but his touchdown interception ratio was good, and he's a threat with his legs. So I like him. I'm not one dimensional on offense anymore, which I think is what helped propel me to the success I've seen the last 2 seasons. So I'm pleased with Richardson's play.
I don't understand this love fest that is happening between Nipples and Kobe. Like, I know Nipples is sliding into Kobe's DMs. There's no way. If this is the way he's acting in public, I know he's all up in them DMs.
You want to understand, I want him to get rid of Wilson.
You want him to have
I want him to get
your
rid of
babies.
Wilson.
That's what you want.
I hate that guy.
Anyway, let's stay focused here with Bronco Man. Bronco Man, Taylor is starting to get old, and running backs in the NFL, they age like bread. Are you having a plan for him? Do you feel like he still has a lot of tread on the tires? Where are we going with Taylor?
Well, for me, I think with the time we have left in the cycle, I think he'll be okay. He's still 99 X factor. His stats haven't went down any, but he is starting to get up there. So I think next offseason I might look to address that, because I drafted a backup in last draft, and he's okay. Nothing special, but I'm definitely not concerned about that immediately. That's kind of like if you're talking like rocks, pebbles, sand, that's like one of my sands, like in the back of my mind, I guess.
Last one for me. What's it going to take for the Condors to be three-peat in the AFC Championship?
Defense to step up, secondary especially, and not to get in my own head personally. I mean, I don't know what it is. I went through that whole playoff run where me and Dre met in the bowl game when I was the 4 seed. For what I wanted, I had a bad regular season. And I just kind of was like, I'm going to get there, played my game. But then I was on the top of the AFC, kind of people had me on their radar, and I played the regular season pretty well. I mean, I think there were some games where I missed a last second kick or some things I could have done to even had a better record. But I think for me, it's just going to be playing my game, not trying to play to lose or play not to lose, because I think in that game against Cincy, it was really, I threw way more than I should have, and he kind of caught on to it, because whenever I get behind, I always seem to abandon the run, and that's something I have to stay keen on, is keep staying balanced and not getting predictable.
Friends, I hate saying this in front of Nipples because I never know how he's going to react, but let's go ahead and finish off Mr. Bronco Man. What do y'all got for him?
Me?
Me?
Yeah.
Hey, Bronco Man, you did have a good season, man. Richards was on fire, man. He had like 50 touchdowns. And he's definitely a core piece of your offense. But talk about Josh Downs, your wide receiver.
Mm-hmm.
The improvements that he made from the season before to last season. I mean, he was just all over the field. What was the process of getting him involved?
So I think that started a little bit season. What would that be? What was the first season of this cycle? 106. It started 106 when he was, I guess, my number 2, probably like a 78 overall, and I got the ball to him more than anybody. And I had Michael Pittman. I don't know what it is, but with me and Madden, I don't like big receivers. I just can't seem to get them the ball. So I cut him. And then Downs is like, he's not that fast. He's not big, but that dude is always open. He has to, he's like the CeeDee Lamb or whoever, just route running master. I don't know what it is, but that dude is open. He's he's not going to burn you. He's not a deep threat. He's just a guy that I'm going to get 5 to 7, 8 catches a game, 100 yards and a touchdown or two, and he's reliable. That's what I like about him.
Yeah, he's definitely. It always seemed like every highlight that I've watched of yours or game that I've watched and stuff, seems like he's just always getting open. Another guy on your offense, especially in the red zone, your tight end Isaiah Likely. I think he had like 16 touchdowns or something like that. Is that like? Do you have a process of like, is that one of the guys that you like to look for your first read in the red zone, or is that just the way it kind of fell, going in the red zone? But he was definitely a key part of your red zone offense.
Well, first off, thank you, Nipples, for Isaiah Likely. He's a condor for life,
he's really good. He's really good.
Yeah. I like the speed though. He doesn't drop many balls. He gets open and down in the end zone. I mean, a lot of times the red zone, down in the red zone, guys are running these heavier set defenses. So oftentimes he's covered by a slower linebacker and he's just getting open. And that's just schematically something I like to look at and mix it up with where I'm getting him the ball at and what play style and all that. But he's definitely him and Jonathan Taylor, the Condors, go to inside the 10-yard line guys.
Awesome. Well, good luck on this season, and I'll hand it over to Trey or Nipples for another question.
Trey, you have a question?
I got all mine in.
Okay, so no, Bronco, I don't have literally a question. I just want to let you know, since I've been in your position when people are now expecting that you reach out to the championship or MFL Bowl because you reach out the first season of MFL Bowl, this one championship. So I've been in that position. So I just wanted to let you know that it's gonna get worse. So so now just keep doing what you usually do in every game. Once you play me, just let me win, and I promise you that I'm gonna give you all the cheat codes to have a really good cycle. No, but I'm in all honesty. What do you think you're going to do different? I mean, this is the same question that I ask everyone. What do you think is going to be different for you this new season? Do you think you're going to have to do something different to reach out to the MFL Bowl? You think you should stick to your game plan to get there, get to the OMFL Bowl again?
I think the biggest thing for me is something I talked about after that OMFL Bowl in that press conference, or whatever you want to call it, was me as a Madden player is just developing my passing offense. Not even so much Richardson, just me. I think that's key, but it's definitely gotten better, but it's something that I never was great at, and I've gotten better. But my mindset is after winning an OMFL Bowl, it's like you get a taste of that success. You get a trophy shipped to your house. You want that every season. So I'm not, True. It's not like I'm discounting Trey or whoever or D-Money or anybody, but my mindset's OMFL Bowl or bust. That's what I want. Yeah. And if anything less than that, it's not a successful season.
True. Well, you can order all those on Amazon. I have like 4 or 5 OMFL bowls that I ordered from Amazon. So, so you should, just to let you know, I have 4 right now.
That's always an option.
No, but I know that I just wanted to be wonderful as well. So, I mean, you're one of the new owners. So when we played on that playoff game, I know that I did some lame stuff at the end. So I apologize about that. I just wanted, to have like different type of gameplay. But watching you grow and all that, from rushing only to passing as well, that's something that I have never really achieved. So you've been doing that, changing from rushing to also passing game. I respect that a lot. So I wish you the best, though.
I appreciate it.
Bronco man, appreciate you, man. Sorry you're feeling under the weather, but it's good to know that you're not being held hostage or kidnapped or in somebody's trunk right now. But I would
No,
appreciate the dedication
got-
to be in someone's trunk and still making sure you get that draft in right before you get killed.
Oh yeah, Bill would be on my ass if I didn't.
Bill will go to heaven himself just to chew you out for being late to the draft. That's the kind of guy that Bill is. Nipples, your pick is coming up. Bronco man, I'm a big fan of you, pulling for you, my friend, and hopefully you feel better, but looking forward to see what your Condors, too many custom names for me to remember, but pulling for your Condors, looking forward to see what they do in season 109, bud.
Yeah, whoever I end up with next Madden, if it's the Colts, I'm not relocating again. But I'm just putting that out there.
No, it's all good. I've sort of had fun with it, but some people got really panties in a bunch about it. And so it is what it
If you don't
is.
choose purple, because I hate playing against you with another purple player. So please.
Yeah.
Well, Bronco man, we're pulling for you, bud. Thanks for joining the show tonight, bud.
I appreciate it. You guys have a good night.
There we have
You
it,
as well.
Bronco man. Your championship,
Get better.
Orlando Condors, and we're moving ahead, y'all. I can't believe we've only been live for like a little over an hour and a half. Press Pass Live is longer than this. Whenever you let Maniac get on a roll, and we're already halfway through round number 6. It is your pick, Mr. Nipples. So if you want to get interviewed,
Thank you, Nate.
if you want to be interviewed, make sure you come jump in here, and we'd love to interview you. Bill, I'm looking at you. Mr. Dakota,
Bill
looking
told
at
me he
you.
was going to join. Bill,
Yeah.
are you going to join the call?
He's in
Don't
there,
be lying, Bill. Come on now.
He's in there
it's
talking
it's
poop.
free XP for the incentive, so I should do it.
Oh my goodness. The Ravens, then we got the Desperados, the Commanders, the Bills, the 49ers, the Giants, and the Cardinals. We'll be getting the end of round number 6 here. It has went crazy fast. We talked when we all sort of got together about our winners. I talked about the Commanders. I talked about the Packers. And I talked about, what was my other team? I got it written down here. The Texans, who always have a solid draft, which does me no favors, just so that Raj knows, because people start crying he's cheating. But I do trust that Raj is not cheating.
No,
He
he's
just
not.
studies and has the time to be able to do that. So anyway, has that changed for you? Has it changed on who sort of had a solid middle to end draft here?
I think we need to add the Titans into that mix. They've gotten solid defensive tackles. They've been drafting pretty well.
I would put the Cardinals in that mix. I think, again, you go 4 for 4. Your first 4 pick is hidden devs. You got to at least pay attention to it, right? I do think we put a little too much weight in that hidden dev stuff, but went 4 for 4, had some solid defensive pieces that he's adding to that. And so the Cardinals are going to be a bit of a pain coming up here soon.
Yeah,
I will say
I think the Cardinals.
Yeah.
Catalina Panthers. Is that what you said?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm closing the door. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Catalina Sunrise.
No, I still think the Condors. For me personally, I think they're the top ones. I've seen his players all their attributes and stuff. Even I think he's got like something like 4 out of 5 hidden dev as well. But just the attributes those guys have, they're all like going to be like top notch type players in their positions and stuff. So I feel like he's got the top one. Obviously, Texans, Cardinals, they've had a pretty decent draft. I haven't seen much from the Chiefs since the first round, second round, but I think Washington also has had a solid one as well.
We're at pick number 20,
I'm sorry, I don't know
round
if
number
it was
6.
supposed to be me, but again,
Go ahead.
it's the Panthers. Washington Commanders have been doing really great as well.
Mhm.
Packers were doing, but I haven't heard too much from.
Uh-oh.
And radio silence.
Packers have been doing really good.
Now we got you back. We lost you there for
All
a
right,
second.
we
Say
missed
that
like
last,
like 20 seconds
yeah,
of you
say
there.
that last part one more time.
Who, me?
Yeah.
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't remember
Yeah.
when I don't know when you lost me. So,
Just the last 10
Last
seconds.
20 seconds.
Yeah.
so last 20 second probably. Commanders good. Packers are doing bad now. I don't know. That's like Packers. I don't know if I haven't seen anything from Packers after the first 3 picks.
Yeah,
He did
that's
really
fair.
great in the first 2 rounds, to put it that way, because I believe he has 3 first pick. But after that, I haven't seen anything from him. Maybe I haven't paid attention to it, or maybe he hasn't posted any photos, or maybe it's because his pick sucks, so that's why he hasn't posted any photos. So, but besides that, I will say Panthers. Washington has been doing really nice. Little Cushy, and Brew as well. Steelers, I haven't seen so much from Steelers from my division, so I'm happy that Steeler. I don't know if he doesn't want to post photos just to keep it quiet, but I hope that he's doing really bad right now, and he want to quit probably. I think it has been a really good draft for some teams that really actually need it, and teams that really, really, really actually need it. Probably the Mountains. Mountains is how you say it.
Yeah.
Mountains. I don't know. The people they're from Canada. I don't know. They actually need it. But I haven't. It's just that team is so difficult to understand. Like I don't know exactly what he wants to do. So I don't know if he's having a great draft or not. So yeah, that's that. Those were my 20 seconds when I cut off. Yeah.
We got to also talk about, and Roger said it in chat, the Giants. I mean, he got a franchise quarterback in the 4th round or whatever that was, and it's got some real decisions now to go make. And also D-Money, as painful as it sounds to say that, D-Money's had a really good middle of the draft here. So a lot of really good teams, kind of hitting it out of the park as we get to the middle rounds here.
Meanwhile, I'm sitting back at the end of each round going, can I get someone on it?
We're at pick number 25 in the 6th round. I think you're going to be fine. Madden gave it to you last season, so you're pretty loaded. Then we got the Panthers, who will skip, and then over to Dallas, Condors, Steelers, who will skip, and then Seahawks, and we're going to be quickly towards the end of the 6th round. We're still open for interviews, and so if you want to do an interview, now is the time to jump in there. And then here in just a minute, we're going to start talking schedule, just so that people understand the schedule. Wayne, text me again. Okay, cool. T. Wayne, I hope that didn't come off as being short. It's hard to talk and pay attention to 8 windows, so I didn't mean to be short if that's how it came off. Just making sure. Ooh, I like that pick. Marquise Toller, I had him on my list, hoping he'd fall to the 9th pick in the 7th round. He's going over to Miami. A little bit of speed. Speed's not going to be terribly great, but I think a guy that has some potential. Also, the schedule is posted in the offseason schedule form. But just so that everyone knows, we will pause in week number 1 of the preseason, allow you to play the preseason if you would like to, and allow you to get all of your training camp done. We will then take, after 24 hours, advance us to week number 4. The board's going to have to help me with that because I actually have to leave town tomorrow for a couple days. Get us to week number 4. There, you can make your cuts, get your practice squad set, get everything set, post that you're set and done, and then we'll get off into the regular season sometime on Saturday night, if I'm doing the math just correctly. And so official day number 1. Thank you, CMC2. Appreciate you for giving us a sub there. But we will be officially in to season 109 whenever we get to day 1 will be Sunday. I'm pretty sure that's how it's going to work out.
Awesome.
So, yep, me and the Mounties, week number 1. Oh, I forgot to skip the Panthers. My bad, y'all. I'm sitting here talking schedule and I totally missed it. All right, pick number 27 in the 6th round. Fellas, when you get to this time of the draft, and it looks like we might have our next guest. I don't know if he messaged Trey or not, but I see he's in chat. So you can confirm for me, Trey, if he's ready to do this. But when we start to get into the 7th round, the 6th round, are you taking athletic flyers? Are you taking like somebody you think could just be a practice squatter? Like where's your mindset? Is it just like, I don't care, I'm clicking the button as soon as it pops up?
I've done both. I think I've just clicked on to just let the CPU pick my pick sometimes, just for the heck of it, because I don't have nothing left. I'm like, I need a flyer. A lot of the other times, I'm looking at a guy with 6'6", 350 pounds or whatever, or his strength rating's off the chart, or his speed's off the chart. So, yeah, I've kind of done it both ways.
I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but we're going to cut this question off because we have Mr. Bill with us.
All right, Mr. Bill, my guy Bill, you're owner of the Washington Commanders. Bill, how you doing tonight, bud? You're muted, Bill. There you go.
Hey, guys. How are you?
Hey, buddy. How are you? Thanks for joining us tonight. I know it's difficult with a toddler hanging around the house. Once they go to sleep, you don't want to fart too loud because you do not need them waking up, especially at our age.
I'm sitting in the closet right now. So
mine doesn't even live with me. She is just a granddaughter. And boy, when she acts like she's going to close her eyes, I take a nap. So, Bill took over the Commanders halfway through, somewhere like that last season. Not a team that was built for you, but you found a way to find a winning streak, even with a bit of a quarterback situation. What was it about that team that you were able to start to figure out?
I took it over. I think Big Hurt and I made the swap around after week 3. So our team records were pretty similar. I mean, I was 0-3, he was 1-2. But to answer your question, I mean, what Big Hurt and I think before that Bird did with that defense on the Commanders, they built up a pretty talented defense. I mean, the Commanders had a pretty talented defensive line to begin with, but that defense really was solid. Might have been something better than I had in Buffalo, to be honest with you. And defense is kind of something that I like to, I lean towards because everyone knows I'm not really good offensively. So. I mean, I just kind of got my bearings over the last, the first few weeks and around the defense, and then they really helped turn things around. Like you said, I went on a little winning streak to get myself into potential position to make the playoffs, but just fell short the last few weeks of the season. Couldn't get over the hump.
I would argue that you're not good offensively. I know that the Buffalo teams were not really great offensively, but those Seattle teams that you had were very dynamic offensively. They gave me absolute fits over there. Coming into the offseason, you thought you figured out some quarterback situations there, and then you re-signed a guy and then started to think about drafting a guy. So was quarterback the main issue? If not, where was your real main focus as you moved into the offseason?
Yeah, it was quarterback. I mean, I was using Sam Howell because he was the more highly rated quarterback and had the better attributes on the team. Had the best attributes at the position. But I don't know if it was his throwing motion or what. I wasn't able to get comfortable with him. I signed Jordan Love kind of like middle of the season, just as a backup, and then just in case kind of situation. And I said, I think it was the second to last game of the season. I was like, you know what? Let me just throw Love in there, see if he has anything. Because Howell wanted to resign for, I don't know, $40 million a year or something to that effect. I didn't have the cap room because Big Hurt and I switched. The computer automatically resigned Greenlaw and McLaren to huge contracts. So I didn't have a lot of cap space. And so I tried out Love, and I was, I had some pretty good success with him the last 2 weeks of the season, and he was only like, I don't know, $12 million a year to resign. So I was like, all right, let me resign Love, and I'll go forward with him. He's a game manager, he won't kill me at quarterback, and then I'll rely on my run game. But then going through the draft process and stuff like that, looking at the rookies, and I'm like, you know what, I may have a chance at one of these top quarterbacks. So, knowing that, next cycle, next Madden, I know the Commanders, I think they're sitting at 2 in this draft, NFL draft. They're definitely taking a quarterback. So I'm probably not going to take a quarterback with me as an import, but I said, you know what? Let me take a flyer. Let me take one of these highly rated quarterbacks. So that's where I went with 7. And 7, I got that pick by making a trade with Sniper over in New England. I couldn't re-sign defensive tackle Allen, and Sniper needed some help on defense. So we made that trade kind of mid-season, right before the trade deadline. So that's where I got the 7th pick from.
You are one of the rare guys that have now played very high levels in both conferences. There always sort of has been this sort of twist towards that the NFC really was the more of a powerhouse conference to have to work your way through, and that they just kind of beat each other up. How do you feel about the AFC, NFC now that you're over here?
I think both conferences really have top to bottom, quality coaches, quality teams. They're both very difficult. You look at the AFC, and I know I'm going to leave some names out, but just in my, I was competing against Kobe and Massimo, and even lost early on in the cycle. Was a very difficult opponent. You have Denbrew and Lil Koch and Cincy Berg. And then
don't forget about me. You said 3 of the North.
You and I, we haven't played very much, which is strange.
Oh, that's true.
I feel like we haven't. But you're right. Yeah, when you're locked in, you're very good. No, I mean, and obviously the guys out in the West and the guys in the South, everyone's tough. And you come to come back to the NFC. I mean, obviously you think D-Money, D-Wayne, Dakota. I mean, I'm in the conference. I'm in the same division now with Dakota. I can barely ever beat the guy. I mean, he just has my number or whatever. But, and then you got Trey over in the North. And then in the West, you also have Meek, who's, stout, and Joker's stout. I mean, both conferences have great coaches up and down, and they're both very difficult, in my opinion.
Fellas, what do we got for our guy, Bill?
All right, Bill, this is Maniac.
Hey.
Looking at both divisions that you played, what would you look at to be like your number one rivalry between both leagues? Or maybe you had one over in the AFC and one in the NFC. What would that be?
Well, I'd say, I guess I have to, no disrespect to Massimo, but I think Kobe. I mean, Kobe is just he's just so tough to play against. And I think one season I may have was able to get 2 wins against him, and I'm sure I think there were fluke wins, to be honest with you. I just think he had a down year, and I got lucky. But Kobe is just, I can never figure him out. His defense, it's more so his defense. I was able to kind of limit his offense for the most part, I would think, if I remember correctly, but his defense is just, he would shut me down, no problem. In the NFC, I mean, I'd have to say, I don't know if I have a rival just because I'm just got back over to the NFC, but I mean, anybody in my division. I mean, Colin, Twinkie. I think I played him twice, and they were both tough games. Colin and I always have tough games. I mean, Dakota, like I mentioned, he has my number. I mean, I think I've beaten him once or twice in the dozen times I've played him. So, but yeah, I think that's it. I mean.
All right, man. That's looking at some of the changes from last season to this season.
Mm-hmm.
What are you looking at being the big change that's going to help you get over the hump possibly this season? Was it somebody that you brought in from free agency or one of these draft picks that you just got? What's your anticipation on one of these guys that you brought into your team?
Yeah, free agency, I didn't make any big moves. I mean, I was just getting back from vacation, but I knew free agency, it was really just going to be backfilling some backups and whatnot. I didn't have a ton of money. Really, it's the draft, right? I mean, I went, quarterback at 7, who's most likely going to be my starter. I mean, I can't draft a guy at 7 and not start him, right? So he's going to be my starter, and the rookie quarterback is starter. And then I took the guy, Shady Cheevers, the running back at 17. He's most likely going to, great name. He's most likely going to be starter out of the box, out of the gate also. And also I made a trade with Denver to bring over T. Higgins as my number 2,
Oh,
number 3
nice.
kind of guy. Yeah, I mean, I had McLaurin and Dotson last year with Samuel as my slot, but I feel like Dotson is a much better slot wide receiver. So I brought T. Higgins in to play on opposite of McLaurin, and he doesn't have the same speed or whatnot. I think he's an 89, but he's got size. He's got really good route running skills, really great catching traffic and catching skills. So. I'm really hoping to lean on those guys. And then also, I think Mason Crowder, who's the tight end, I think Bird brought him over as an import. That guy's a stud, and he's an X-factor tight end, I believe. Doesn't have a ton of speed. I mean, he's about 85 speed, but runs great routes and is a solid blocker. So, again, I'm not the best on offense, but I'm just hoping to keep things balanced. And then again, just letting my defense do their thing. The defense, really, I didn't lose anybody on defense, really, for the most part. I had 4 solid corners. One guy I knew wasn't going to resign with me. He was like my nickelback. So I traded him off to Kansas City for a second this past offseason. So that's really the only guy I lost. But I mean, I still have 3 solid corners. My safeties are real deep and good, and linebackers are solid, and defensive line is solid. So I'm going to lean on my defense again. It's pretty much what I do every year.
It's your pick, Mr. Bill.
I'm
So if
sorry
we
to
need,
interrupt, but I think it's Bill pick. I mean, it's 7 rounds, so I don't know if he wants to do something.
I don't know if he wants to give you a pause or not.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, that's it for me. I'll pass it to Trey or somebody else. But yeah, thanks a lot, man.
Thanks, man.
Yep.
Oh, it's me. Bill, I'm happy that you jumped in the call. Just first of all, I want to say that you're one of my favorite owners because of your sarcasm and stuff like that. But I just want to ask you. First of all, New York lost yesterday by like 20 points. So that's kind of bad for the New York Knicks.
They were missing 4 of their starters. Come on now.
I'll still take it because my Pelicans beat them. So
with this new move to the Washington Commanders, now being a full season. I know that you started 1-3 or 1-2, but the season already started. Have you made any big changes during this off season to have a little bit more of your game plan per se, or moving to a new team, you didn't have to change so much for your game plan? I know that you said that your offensive side you don't do so good, but that's a lie. You do good. I think you're being humble on that. Something that Trey probably have to learn. But I'm joking, Trey. I'm joking.
golly, Bullets alive tonight.
Trey, I'm joking. But no, there's something different that you think you have to do with this new team, or do you think it's basically the same team besides being a really good defensive team on the Commander side? I don't know if I explained my question. I said too much.
No, you did. Yeah. No, I think one thing I definitely want to try this season is be a little bit more diverse and open up the offense a little bit more. I think I want to try to run more 3 and 4 wide sets, not abuse them, but just run them a little bit more. I feel like I get to, 12 personnel or, 2 tight ends, one running back, and then I don't really go like 3 or 4 wide very often in like non-passing down, non-third and long or something like that. I want to be like, I just want to open things up a little bit more. And I think, having now T. Higgins on the, getting T. Higgins over from the Bengals,
we appreciate you.
3 solid wide receivers, allows me to do that. And I still have Curtis Samuel as like my 4th wide receiver if I decide to keep him, who's not a bad 4th wide receiver, even though he's getting a little long in the tooth. But just trying to, I always just I tell myself this every offseason, but try to mix things up a little bit more on offense. Don't be so predictable. Don't always run on first down, pass on first down, run on 3rd and long. Just try to change things up to keep my opponent, off balance.
Awesome. So I wish you the best. I know that you're against one of the big guys here, D. Wayne, but so those is Colin and Twinkie. So you still move from a really difficult division to another division that is probably even harder, maybe. But it's a fun one. They are. So I wish you the best, though. I wish that you can get the division and change things up.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
You know who else is diverse, and that's Nipples and the women that he serves. Trey, what do you got for Mr. Bill?
Jeez Louise. I've only got one question.
Yes, sir.
Who do you think, if you're going into a race for the wild card and can't dethrone Wayne from the division, who do you think is going to be your biggest competition in that race for those 3 spots?
That's a tough one. I mean, let's see. Well, just looking at the North, I mean, I think you still have the North locked up, but I think why am I blanking? Mike Fleury, the new Vikings owner. I think he's going to be a solid addition to the league, and from everything I've heard, very good owner, very good coach.
We need it, Bill. We need the Vikings winning. We have not had a winning Vikings team since Maniac had kind of started to finally rebuild that team, and then he deuced out.
Yeah.
Literally, it has been a long time since the Vikings have won in this league, and we need a winning team.
Yeah, no, definitely. Any of the guys in the NFC South that are not leading the division, I mean, you know, with Nate, Maniac, Kevin, and Bird, of course. I mean, those are 4, you know, really good teams, good coaches right there.
4 is the amount of games I've won this entire Madden cycle. So easy with throwing my name out there, okay?
Yeah. Well, all right. The West, I mean, the West, you got Joe. You set me up for that. Let's cut it out. The West, you got Joker. I mean, you got you know, D Money when he's you know, locked in, when he's doesn't have stuff going on. You know, Meek obviously, and Shiloh. You know, Shiloh. I believe it or not, I mean, I was in a league with Shiloh Bed, you know, 15 years ago, in some Operation Sports League. And he's still chugging along and solid. Yeah. I mean, for a guy that lives halfway across the world, the effort he makes to get games in around our time zone is phenomenal. And I give the guy a ton of credit for doing that. He's a great addition to the OMFL, and I'm happy that he was able to get in here. And then in the, what division did I miss now? Well, the East, I mean, you know, all the guys in the East, I mean, Dakota, Colin, Twinkie. I mean, you know, Twinkie, you know, it's always a tough game with him. I mean, with that Eagles team and the way he plays, it's always a tough game. I mean, you may end up winning by 10 or 12 if you do beat him, but it was a tough, hard-fought game. Colin, I've always had issues with. I mean, you know, he beat me this past season in a late season game that I really needed, to be honest with you, to help me out with the playoff run, and you know, he got a win out of it. And there's so many coaches, Trey. I mean, you know, I mean, there's so many tough teams out there that are always vying for the. Well, you don't know because you usually win in the division, but there's a lot of tough teams out there. So yeah, I'm sure I missed a couple too. I apologize.
All right, that's all I got.
Bill, you're the best, man. I know that people give you a hard time for being passionate about our league, but I appreciate it deeply, and I appreciate you sneaking yourself off into the closet to come and hang out with us for a quick couple minutes.
No, my pleasure. And you know, I give people a hard time, and I hope people understand that it's, you know, I'm sarcastic. I just bust some balls.
He's a New Yorker. He means every second of what he says.
I love, you know, to be honest with you, I think our league is great. I think, you know, we have a ton of guys here.
Yeah.
And, you know, I just like to keep things, you know, I bust chops. So, but thanks for having me on. I really appreciate it, guys.
Bill, I appreciate you, man. Go take care of that little one, or at least make sure he's still sleeping so you can go get some sleep.
Will do. Thanks for
that. There you have it, Mr. Bill of the Washington Commanders. I'm making sure that injuries are off. I see that. I'm turning injuries off before we get going here. Let me turn off progressive fatigue for at least the preseason. Help me remember, team. Practice injuries we will keep off this season, but injuries will turn on, and progressive fatigue will return on. We just will not turn them on for the preseason. So that is set and done. I am hoping that sliders are set. I am hoping that XP is set. And if XP is not set and you've already started digging deep into it, that's on y'all. I'm looking right now. Oh, it is set. Maniac, thank you. Appreciate you, buddy. So I think we're set. My buddy, my guy who was on some of the original Press Pass lives, it's been quite some time since I've actually physically spoken to him. But let me welcome in your owner of the Dallas Cowboys, Mr. D. Wayne.
Y'all hear me?
We hear you loud and clear. That Arkansas accent gets my nipples hard, Mr. Nipples. D. Wayne, you and I talk about it all the time, man. It's been quite a couple of seasons since we've seen the Dallas Cowboys donning the big blue star in the OMFL Bowl game. Man, talk about last season. You were right there, come up just a bit short. What was that team lacking last season?
It was a good run. I had a mid-season kind of. It wasn't even a stumble. I just ran into a buzzsaw with Kevin and Trey, and kind of got it stabled and was running the ball real well, and then ran into Maniac in the playoffs, and he played me about as tough as I could have expected him to play. I mean, he really took away a lot of the stuff I wanted to do, and if his quarterback plays better, then he's the one going to the divisional round instead of me. And then I just ran into Meek, and I had no answer. I haven't said that about a lot of games here, but I had no answer for how well he was playing. And on top of that, what surprised me is how well Trey played him the next round, which was just shocking. And that's not a shot at Trey. That's just a shot at how well Meek had played me. I just couldn't believe that he lost that next round the way he did.
Dallas Cowboys' main focus coming into this offseason was what?
Trying to hold the ship together for one more season. The Cowboys, as Maniac, as a Cowboys fan knows, they're just getting more and more expensive. The offensive line finally fell apart. Zach Martin retired 2 seasons ago. Tyron Smith retired this season. So it's like a whole new offensive line. Just trying to hold stuff together, trying to solidify my run defense too. That's one reason I traded for the defensive end from the Packers, Lucas. Going to really transition him from a kind of a tweener. Yeah, Van Ness, it's kind of a tweener defensive end to more of like a run-stopping linebacker for me. I feel like as long as I can stop the run, I can stay in games. But Trey and Kevin both kind of ran into that with me. If they kind of get me on my back heels and I cannot run the ball, and you force Justin Fields, he had a good season last year, nowhere near a lot of these top quarterbacks here, but he threw for 29 touchdowns and 6 picks last season. As long as I can manage, don't have to force stuff with him, I feel like I can win games. But if you put me on my back foot and make me try to be a passer like a Trey, like a Meek or somebody like that, or a Kobe, I can't win like that, not consistently.
What was the draw for Fields? Why go out there and make a deal to bring him into Dallas?
Well, for one, Dak's too expensive. As a lot of these guys have seen, the quarterback market is outrageous in Madden. And to build teams the way we do, you just can't afford to, most teams can't afford to drop $40 or $50 million on a quarterback. And the Cowboys have too many guys that have to get paid. And I knew Fields. I kind of looked ahead and seen that Fields was going to ask. If I didn't try to build him, I just neglected him until his contract time came up and didn't try to build him at all. And his contract stayed in that $20 to $25 million a year range. So I knew I wasn't going to have a superstar quarterback, but I mean, I've always been able to have success, or at least do enough with a quarterback that wasn't the top end guy. And he's fast, and I didn't scramble with him really as much last season as I did the season before. It's just so high risk, high reward. If he runs, it's a 50-50 chance when he gets hit if the ball's going to come out. So I did kind of settle in and try to make him more of a pocket passer. And it was good results. If I'm running the ball well, I can pass off the run real well. But as Meek seen the playoffs, as Trey seen last season, and then Kevin, my worst game, I know I got blew out by Meek in the playoffs, but Kevin might have been my worst game I played all last season, and he just got me on my back foot all game, and I can't pass the way a lot of guys pass here, and it really showed when you drop down 2 or 3 scores and kind of have to abandon the run.
We're out here playing checkers. My guy Wayne is playing chess. I'm not going to develop this guy until I get his contract low. Then I'll worry about it. Listen, I watched D. Wayne win with a 67 overall quarterback that he got like as an undrafted free agent one year and built that guy up to be a Pro Bowler. So I know that he could do it. Guys, what do you have for D. Wayne?
I'll go. Wayne is maniac. I know we had a great game in the playoffs, man, and you're talking about the game plan, man. I went and I was like, I got to shut down your run. I got to limit your run as much as possible. And that game was probably really up until a point. It was kind of heading towards being an OMFL classic, but man, your outlook going in from that quarterback, you're talking about, having speed. Do you really feel like that having a quarterback that can scramble is that a difference maker in the OMFL currently how we've played, or do you think that maybe a pocket passer is more president? But what's your outlook on that part?
I do think for some guys, a pocket passer who could pick the field apart, like a Massimo or Kevin. There's a few guys like that really like to take shots deep down the field. I think that fits their style well. I've always preferred a quarterback that can take off and run. As somebody, I mean, you watch Trey. I'm trying to think of a few quarterbacks. Meek can run with his. There's a few quarterbacks in this league. Maniac, I've seen your guy. I think he ran twice in our game. No, I could be wrong. He wasn't our game because I had our game pulled up. But yeah, it is a backbreaker when you play great defense and then the quarterback scrambles for 25 yards and gets a first down. So I love having that ability with the quarterback. I was
That's
actually pulled up our game.
breaker.
You held me below 5 yards a carry. And so game plan wise, I mean, it succeeded. Like you said, it was just that first half. It felt like you had me in check. The second half just seemed like Parker Colt just decided to stop trying, and or that game is yours. Like I told Nate after that game, he messed me after Meek, put me in my place. I said I didn't feel like I played a great game versus you, but I said I attribute that more to your game planning against me. And you know what I like to do. Everybody knows I like to run the ball. I like to run the ball and play defense, and I'll pass if I have to. But I do like Justin Fields. Justin Fields has been a good quarterback for me. He's not a top-end quarterback. He's never going to be a top-end quarterback. But for the way I like to play, I think he fits my style well.
I figured it out. I know who he sounds like. Patrick Mahomes.
I know I've actually been told that by more than one person in
just
OMFL.
hit me. I've never picked up on it. I've been with you for years. I literally have talked to you for years. I never picked up on it until tonight. It must be just because you're probably tired if I know you well enough. And so that little raspiness is starting to come out a little bit. Trey, what do you got for our guy, D. Wayne?
So when you've had two very polar opposite exits in the playoffs, you had the overtime shootout with me and the blowout with Meek. What do you feel is going to be the factor to get you, in that game with Meek and the?
Did I lose y'all or did I just lose Trey?
No. I think our buddy Trey's internet isn't playing nice to him, or headphones aren't playing nice. We lost just the last little bit, Trey.
What do you think will be the contributing piece to get you inside a game where you don't get blown to Meek, or win the overtime shootout that you had with me?
Well, I will say, Trey, the loss to you hurt 100 times worse than the loss to Meek, and that's not even a personal thing, but just losing a close game like that, like Meek's, I could tell early on that this was not trending well for me. And you could tell by I threw almost as many interceptions in that one game as I did all season trying to force stuff. I can't let the game get out of control. Like me and you, that's not my game, playing a shootout like that. Now, that was one of the most fun games I've ever played. The Tyler Ben catch was one of the craziest plays I think I've ever seen. At that point, I kind of knew that I'd already got the Madden out of that game. But yeah, I just can't let the game get out of hand. I got to kind of control it a little better than that. like I said, I've tried to attribute more to my defense, trying to keep the game close, because if the game gets too far out of hand with me and I have to throw the ball 30, 35 times a game, then the recipe for success gets worse and worse and worse for me. But like I said, that's what made it even more shocking was Meek going to the next round and having his game as he had against you. And I'm sure you did your scouting and stuff on Meek, but I ain't gonna lie to you. I thought Meek was on a roll, and I didn't know who was going to stop him after the way he beat me down last year.
I'm just going to say real quick, Trey, before you jump in here, Tyler Ben, I don't know if he's a backbreaker, but he's a controller breaker. I would smash so many controllers playing that dude.
Yeah, that catch fast. Yeah, Tyler Ben's a weapon. Obviously, you have our previous guest, Bill, having his first time being full season. Him to give you a run for that division title?
Well, speaking on our division in general, Colin and Bill have both gave me hell for years. I think I was telling Jana the other day, I think I've been in the OMFL now for like 10 years, and that's ridiculous to think about. It's been almost a decade being in the OMFL. But I played
try
Bill and
2.5
for
like me.
that long. Say that again, Nate.
I said try 2.5 like me.
Oh, it's crazy. As I was looking at y'all's pictures, I looked at Maniac. Jenna came in here and I said, we look a lot different than we did 10 years ago, and we didn't all stream like this. But Bill and Colin have always given me hell. Bill's played in my division a couple of times. I think he was the Giants one time, and his defensive style just gives me hell. You're not going to just run over a Bill team. Colin, I think I said in the chat earlier, Colin can beat anybody in this league on any given day, but I think Colin can lose to anybody on any given day too, just the way, the volatile way Colin can play. A scary Colin is a consistent, balanced Colin. The Colin you want to see is the Colin throwing for 500 yards a game, because he's probably going to throw you 5 or 6 of them. A balanced Colin is scary. And Twinkie, I always say, is one of the most underrated players. Now, he gets frustrated. And you'll hear him during your game when you play him every once in a while. He'll let you know if he thought Madden gave him the short end of the stick. But he is a really good player. And the Eagles team was just kind of aging and expensive. And I think he's had a hard time kind of digging out of that hole with them. But really, Colin or Bill, for sure, in their positions, they could give me a run for that NFC East title anytime this Madden.
And lastly, we've got a new crop of, I wouldn't say younger talent, because we're a bunch. Most of the people in the OMFL are, mid-30s and whatnot. But it's essentially new talent for the, with the likes of Joker, me, all the rest of the crew that's coming in to fill places. Do you feel like that rising up is causing more pressure on you to stay in that top position that you and kind of D-Money have held for so long?
Oh, well, I appreciate you putting me in the same category as D-Money, but we're not. There's only one person I would ever put in his, and I don't think Trey was here when Mo was still here, but I would put Mo in D-Money's category. Not the Mo Deli, but Mo from Morty Samuels Mo. But no, I do agree it is more pressure. As somebody who I used to play a lot more Madden than I do now, I get on here and do my board stuff, play my games, and that's about it. It's a lot more pressure. You can tell the talent level, especially with these young guys coming in, is on a whole nother level. I remember when Nate would always say that. He always used to say, I'm old. I can't move my hands as fast. I'm feeling that. I'm only 33 years old. But I do look up there. I think the last time I was in a championship game was in season 100. I think we're fixing going season 109. Or am I wrong, Nate?
Yeah, no, you're right.
So it's been 9 seasons since I sniffed it. And I like to say that I like to put myself in a position every year in the playoffs just to, if I can get in the playoffs, you never know what can happen. But it's been 9 years, and it feels like it's been a long time now. So I'm hoping I can get in there and, the ball bounce my way the right way, and I can make a run again.
Well, you know who doesn't take 9 seasons to sniff it? It's Mr. Nipples. I don't know if he's falling asleep. I don't know if he's taking some coffee. Like, Nips, are you with us still?
No, I'm being honest. I was almost the other way already. It's like my 5th, 6th ring, so I'm already almost done for the day. But hey, again, how are you, brother?
Did you say you love me, Nip?
No. I just saying, how are you, man? I'm sorry.
Well, I love you too. I'm good. I'm on my fifth or sixth drink as well. I go on nights for the next 5 nights after tonight, so I was having a few drinks tonight. But I'm good. I'm good. It's been a day.
So I don't have too many questions, to be honest. It's just that Dwayne is I mean, he's a great dude. He's a great owner. I think I know that people say D-Money is in Mo, but I still think that Dwayne is top one owner, and probably it's not
I
because he's
agree.
here. It's just that I he's different player, and when I say a different player, when you watch the gameplays or the game plan, is maybe he's the same rushing and rushing. Yeah, because I learned from Dwayne how to rush, but he's not so cheesy. I'm so sorry that I say that. Maybe all the owners are, and Dwayne is not that guy. So that's what I put Dwayne in like the top one. But yeah, without saying that, Wayne, even though you haven't made it to the bowl in I don't know in a long time. I don't know when was the last time that you make it to the bowl. Last cycle? It was last cycle?
It was season 100, which I think is the beginning of last cycle or the very end of the cycle before that.
Oh wow. Do you think that you have to like what do you think you're doing wrong not to make it? If it's the new breed of new owners like Trey, I don't know who else is in the NFC that is kind of new. It is something that is new, the new breed, or you're getting old as everyone else, or what do you think is going on over there?
Well, my mentality used to be even if you knew what I was going to do, you couldn't stop it. Run the ball. I was like a fake D Money. You know what D Money is going to do, but you just can't stop it. That's the way mentality I always had.
Exactly.
I wanted to play good defense. I wanted to run the ball. And when you put guys in the box, I was going to pass on you. But a lot of these guys are too smart for that now, and they can cover a lot more bases. And I just got to add a little more variety to it. I've tried. I think Bill said it earlier. I try not to be predictable. I don't want to run every first down. Because I can tell you a Madden or two ago, every first down I was going to go single back, to 12 personnel, and I was going to I'm going to run the ball, and I just hope you can stop it. So these new guys, they add a little more variation. They're a lot more creative than I am, and which is good for the league. With a lot, I mean, it's just the different personalities and different gameplays we have now. I think is healthy. But yeah, I just got to add a little more kick to it, or just hope they can't stop the run.
I can still call those second and long plays for you, though. I know what's coming there.
What was that, Nate?
I said I can still call his second and long plays because I know exactly what's coming there.
Yeah, that's probably after you're going to run.
You will get that shotgun run right up the colon.
That halfback draw is deadly, even when you know it's coming.
Yeah, it is. One of my last questions. I know that you said about that contract. Are you planning to have like a quarterback import for next season? Because Dak's probably is gonna. I mean, he did good this season. I don't know how he's gonna be rated for Madden, the new Madden, but his contract is gonna be really bad probably. Probably he deserved it. I think he doesn't deserve it anyways. Are you planning to do? I mean, it's too early, but we have like 2 seasons probably max. Do you think you're gonna do something import wise as quarterback since you're doing so good with Phil, even though he's a low rated quarterback? Probably you can save a lot of money if you do a quarterback import for Madden 26, 25. I don't know which Madden is the next one. I'm sorry.
No, I agree. It's something to think about. I think Dak is fixing to sign a stupid money contract, just because the way the money is in the NFL. He's fixing to get a stupid contract. I probably messed up by not bringing the quarterback over that Nate was referring to earlier. And instead, I took Maxwell Bass, who he's played. This is my third Madden with him, and he's played really good at tight end. But yeah, that quarterback contract is such a killer, and some of these guys can do it. I feel like I need more pieces around my guy rather than a star quarterback. So I probably will start shopping for a quarterback, at least to consider, because I don't know if anybody's going to trade me a young guy like I did with Fields and Big Hurt on his way out of Chicago.
Well,
Awesome.
fellas,
So I wish you the best in this new season, and yeah.
All right, I'll see you in Austin here pretty soon.
Oh yeah, the Baltimore is Maniac. Baltimore is gonna play at Dallas next season. So if you want to go, let me know. And at Houston as well.
No,
So I'm gonna go to both games. So you're in Texas, so just let me know. I'm gonna fly into those games.
I'm
Dwayne,
pretty
also let me
sure.
know. Tickets are gonna be cheap. I'm not gonna pay high tickets. We're gonna go all the way up. Well, it's gonna be fun.
I'm pretty sure Nipples and Pepper and a couple other people have been to my city for a Saints game, and my phone ain't rang at all. So I'm going to start taking this stuff real personal. Dwayne, I love you. You've been with me a long time. I appreciate you, and thanks for taking some time to come be on the show tonight, bud.
All right, y'all have a good night.
There we have it, Mr.
Yeah, well,
Dwayne.
You too, man.
Of the Dallas Cowboys. You know that the Madden gods have shined down on you, and you have to play Dwayne after at least 2 or 3 drinks minimum. It's still tough, but it's not quite as tough when he's stone cold sober. So the only 2 victories I have over him is when Jana is feeding him adult beverages, and I can kind of sneak past him a little bit. Fellas, we're going to do one final thought, and then I'm going to close out with a schedule. Thank you all 3 for joining me tonight. Nipples, I know that you're fighting the heavy sleep, so you're going to get to go first. Give me one final thought.
No, I just want to say thank you to everyone who joined the NFL draft. It was really fun. It was a good draft. I'm really happy that we started on the second draft so we can get done this early. It's 10 p.m. on my end, see it's Central Time. So I was done already by 9:30. I was almost giving up. Yeah, I just want to say thank you to everyone. It's going to be a great season. I'm going to try new things thanks to Trey, not in a bad way, but I'm going to try a lot of the read options. So just FYI. No, I'm saying this in a good way. Watching Trey, because I did watch a couple games of Trey, and I learned from him. There's a lot of good things that I usually didn't thought that it was going to be good in this Madden, like read options. I have a running quarterback, so I haven't never used a running quarterback, and he showed me that it's possible, without breaking FBR, without breaking whatever. So I'm gonna try new things. I know that I said last season that I was going to use D-line, but I just cannot see myself doing it. Thank you for banning the DT user. But it's gonna be a great season. My schedule is really bad. It's gonna be really fun regardless. I'm planning not to miss a single game. I have my backbone controller ready to play wherever I am. And if I lose by 40 points, I really don't care. I just want to get in and do my games. But last but not least, Maniac, I appreciate you. You're a really cool guy. Nate, I really appreciate you. You're a good guy. And Trey, you have my respect, even though I was messing with you and stuff like that. I really respect that you take it the good way. And something that I want to say to every owner on the OMFL, that once you get to talk with people instead of only play the game and that's it, and then just DM your frustration is different when you talk with people. Like, for example, me having fun with Trey is really different. So I have a lot of a different view of Trey after this draft show. So Trey, I respect you. So keep doing what you're doing, even though if you watch YouTube videos, I'm joking still, but just keep doing. I respect you a lot. Just FYI, not in a bad way. Nate, I love you a lot as well. Thank you for having me. It's gonna be a fun season. So yeah, let's get ready. I'm excited for this new one. Probably I have a lot of trips, just FYI. They're not sex trips, but I have a lot of trips, so probably I'm going to play a lot in my backbone controller. So probably I'm not going to win so many games, but I'm going to put the work in. So let's see how it goes. Thank you all.
I'm pulling for you, Nips. I love you, brother. Thanks for joining us tonight. Trey, one final thought.
Apparently everybody feels like they want to throw stones at Goliath. I'm ready to rock and roll. Wait for everybody else to see how they match up against me. I got an interesting start to the season. And I'm ready for everybody to check back in for 709.
Yeah, I think we had just a really solid draft. A lot of people here tonight, and we went through it fast. We were done almost an hour ago, so one of the quickest drafts that we've ever had, even though the Hall's drafts seem to take forever. Maniac, one final thought, bud.
And I'm gonna throw shade at Trey again. He's talking to himself like he's Goliath. Come on now, you're not D-Money quite yet, but maybe Goliath's brother or something. You know,
Hey, I'm 6'4.5", thank you. I'm taller than people.
They get two in them, and they just think they something.
No, it was a great draft. Glad to be a part of it. I'm glad to be a part of the draft show. It's always fun hearing what guys have to say about their drafts and how they look at their off season, and just getting to know people, like kind of like what Nip was saying. You know, just getting to communicate with the guys verbally. You know, it's a lot different than, you know, chatting up with and texting and stuff. So you get to feel a little bit of the personality of the person, but this draft went well, even though for us having the 60 hours of the pause draft or whatever it was, 48 hours, 60 hours, but it all worked out, and I think it helped out in the end to keep this a little bit more short, except for long-winded people like myself. So looking forward to the rest of the season.
No, it was a ton of fun. I had a blast tonight. So here's the schedule. Let me get over here to the game scene. We will stay where we are for 24 hours. And so I'll get this posted to everybody before I go to bed tonight. You can do your training camp. You cannot sign free agents right now. You can put in waiver claims for 67 and above. We'll let those go in, but you cannot sign players. That is not open yet. We will open that after this advance. And so everything is closed for this advance. You can put in waiver claims, play your training camp, play your preseason game. Denbrew, I will go ahead and make the assumption that us two old people are not staying up to play our preseason game. I suck though, because I love playing preseason. I really do. After this, tomorrow night, we will advance to week number 4. We will just quickly sim them. No one will get a chance to do anything. Just make sure you set your computer to do your stuff. I think it does it automatically anyway. And then in week number 4, you can set your practice squads. We will open up free agency. You'll know what time that opens up, so everybody has a fair shake for it. It'll open up. Waiver claims will start closing tomorrow. And then after everybody posts or within 24 hours, we will go ahead and get us off to the regular season. And then it's back to the regular schedule that we always had. So, guys, I appreciate you. Thanks for another really great draft. I'm going to take a breather for just a moment here and kind of get my thoughts put together. Maybe even go shoot a person or two before I get back over here and do the training camp. So Trey, Maniac, Nipples, all the guys who came and hung out with us for the interview, I appreciate you. I love you. Welcome to season 109. We'll see you in the next one.
Smash that like and subscribe.